not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on April 13th, 2026. Hello. A pleasure to be with you. As always, we are presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. That's when you can talk to an advocate at theadvocates.com, and not a chatbot, no AI, no, friends. Just real live injury attorneys who are ready to give you clear, risk-free advice. If you were in an accident this weekend, a bicycle accident, a motorcycle accident, hey, maybe you were in an Uber or a Lyft and you got into an accident. That's not your fault. You didn't deserve that, but you do deserve somebody to fight for you, and somebody who not only has fought your fight, but won. That's what you get at theadvocates.com. Check them out right now. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on The Monty Show. Big shout outs this morning. What's going on to Welcome to the Nightmare, who's first in today. The Frog Father is here today. Hello. Good to see you, Alex. Good to see you, Jay. Appreciate everybody watching the show. An incredible weekend of sports. And I think Rory McIlroy, obviously huge story in sports. We're going to get to Rory Mac. We're going to get to the Masters. But this story right here, this is the one that really bothered me this weekend. Because, and if you don't know the Ruben Bain story, obviously the NFL draft is coming up, and I feel like we see this. I think we see this every year. Somebody gets drugged through the NFL draft. And this year it's Ruben Bain. And I love that we are writing headlines at ESPN that says ex-Miami defensive end. Well, once you're a Cane, you're always a Cane, right? But now, because he was involved in an accident in 2024 where one person was killed in that accident, now he's an ex-Miami defensive end, and now he's poisonous and we can't draft him. This feels like a hit piece. This is not a new story. You can't tell me this is new to NFL scouts, rather. Jake, this feels like a hit piece on Ruben Bain.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that it's happening to Ruben Bain. I mean, I feel like the guy, did everything he needed to do in college, wasn't really, you almost never heard about him off the field. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, and I don't know if it's someone, a team or something trying to get nefarious behind the scenes to manipulate the draft a little bit, or maybe to get him to drop in the draft or something. I don't know why we seemingly get this every year, but there's always a guy. I completely agree. Last year it was Shedeur. This year it's Ruben Bain, and the funny part is that the families even come out and said that they're not interested in causing any problems with it, that they it's taken care of. They're in a good place. Like, it just, I don't know. It just seems like, hey, the draft's next week. We got to find someone to bag on. So why don't we bag on Ruben Bain? Because I don't know. I guess, he's apparently a good candidate to do it with.
I'd love to understand why are we like this? Why are we like this? Why do we always want to take good stories and wreck people? It was, and if you don't know the story, here's the story. It was 4 a.m. on 95 in Miami. I-95 in Miami. Ruben Bain and two teammates and a young woman were in, I believe it was Ruben Bain's Land Rover at 4 a.m. So again, I'm going to ask you, March, it was St. Patrick's Day. It was 4 a.m. What good is going to happen at that time? Right? Okay, cool. He rear ends a car allegedly and then slams into a median and careens into another barrier. And the woman, this since deceased Destiny Betts, was injured in the accident. She was in a coma for several months before she passed. Why is a car accident? And admittedly, he was driving very fast. He was cited for careless driving. He has not by any accounts tried to dodge responsibility for this, as Jake talked about. Betts' family said it was an accident. I believe her family even said, "We wish Ruben Bain the best in his future endeavors and career." Nobody has a grudge to hold against this guy except the media, who wants to go out and drudge this stuff up. And I just will never understand it. I will never understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just puts sort of a, there's always some kind of damper leading up to the draft, right? Like, we're a week out, obviously. It's rolling up, and I think that the media is a conduit, meaning that the media didn't just wake up one day and was like, yeah, let's just write a negative story about Ruben today, right? Like, I don't believe that. I much more believe that someone in the NFL, probably with an organization, someone somewhere doing something, went to the media and was like, hey, this Destiny unfortunately passed. Like, let's bring this story back up again because we want to get X, Y, and Z done in the draft. That's what it smacks of to me. It smacks of like, hey, this guy's a no doubt about a top 5 pick. And we maybe want to get him lower in the draft. Let's see if we can get him to fall by retreading a story from a couple of years ago. That to me is what makes the most sense, because there's just not another good reason as to why you would bring this up. It's not, it's just not, logically speaking, what would be the other motivation? What would be the reason to do this? Because I'm just telling you, like, the media, they don't just wake up and they're like, all right, we're going to choose this one person to write a bunch of negative stuff about. Like, that's not how the media works. The media always needs some sort of reason to hop on the story. And then if you want to criticize the media for staying on a story too long, that's definitely a conversation. But this type of thing doesn't just pop up out of the blue. I don't believe it.
No, and it feels like Laramie Tunsil all over again, who I know everybody is mentioning. That's exactly what it feels like to me. This feels like, hey, Laramie Tunsil smoked weed and didn't tell us, so now he's gonna fall in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is, right? And the original author of this story, of course, cited sources crushing Bain and NFL front offices and talking about how we're waiting for the other shoe to drop now. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, this is what sucks. And I love the NFL draft. I love the combine. I love the workouts. I love the pro days. I love everything about the NFL draft. I'm a huge fan of it. This happens every year. And I don't know what it is that designates the player that this happens to, but every year there's one guy who's like, oh, hey, this guy peed on a fire hydrant when he was 6. We're going to have to look. We're going to have to take a deeper look. This is a red flag. And, listen, he combs his dog backward. Where this is giving us second thoughts now. I mean, who brushes their dog like that? We're going to have to we're going to have to take a deeper dive, because we're waiting for the other cat to drop now.
Yeah. And where did he get the comb from? I mean, gosh, if he didn't get that from Merck, we're not going to be able to draft it.
It's nonsense. This was a tragic accident, right? Everybody assumed he was drunk. There were no field sobriety tests given, so there was no evidence he was drunk. It was an accident. He was driving recklessly. It's as simple as that. This happens. It's an accident. It wasn't like he said, oh, I'm just going to rear end this car intentionally. It was 2 years ago. And now we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Why on earth would you ever subject yourself to media scrutiny? And I know this is probably opposite of what I should be saying, but Why would you ever do interviews? Why would you ever allow the media to have any kind of access to your personal life? And we complain, like in the NBA right now, it's death. There are no personalities in the NBA. But why would we give you access? When you're digging up something that happened 2 years ago that's already known, you knew about this when it happened. It was a story when it happened. And now we're bringing it up because he's about to make millions of dollars, or was, because this is going to cost him money.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I mean, I don't think it's because it is going to cost him money, but I don't think the original like reason for it was probably his money. I really do think that the only reason you would do this now, a week before the draft, is because you're trying to manipulate the draft. The draft. You're trying to get him to fall in the draft to get him at a better price. That's what you're trying to do. And there's a lot of noise about the top 5 in the draft order and who's going to trade out and who's not and what's going to happen, just as there is every year. But again, this year, as we all know, is a very light quarterback year and a very heavy defensive year. We know that there are many options on defense, and Ruben is certainly one of them. And so I don't know. This feels like it's not really going to impact his draft stock. I feel like this is a story that everyone agrees was a couple years ago. He needs to make it through this week, not be an idiot, not say anything he doesn't have to, let time pass, and you will see that you'll be fine. But if he decides to comment on this, if he decides to get in the weeds on this, I mean, then I could kind of see like, hey, maybe you may damage your draft stock if you decide to comment on this or get involved or whatever. So, it is a shame. I think that this is, this is classic NFL, dude. The NFL, you got to remember, the NFL is a tiny little world, right? The NFL is 32 owners, a bunch of coaches and staff, and some players. That's all this league is. And everyone knows everybody. And so with that being the case, I guarantee you there are teams right now looking at the draft who are like, oh man, the Cardinals are picking there. We already know this is who they want. Let's go ahead and do X, Y, and Z to mess that up for them. But whatever.
Again, I go back to Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah.
You remember, and you guys remember Laramie Tunsil, offensive lineman, stud. Somehow his social media accounts were hacked like a week before the draft. He's projected to be the number 1 pick in the draft, Laramie Tunsil. He gets hacked, and a video is posted to his social media of him wearing a gas mask and smoking through a bong. He doesn't get drafted number 1. He falls to 13th, which cost him a ton of money. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. I agree with you. I think it is 100% draft manipulation.
Yeah.
It is 100% draft manipulation.
But which is
I have
wild
no question
for a guy like
about
Ruben,
it.
though. Like if you like Ruben, like it's like if you're looking at candidates to go ahead and run some draft manipulation on, Ruben doesn't seem like the best guy to be doing that.
Jake,
with,
it's
dude.
ex-Miami Hurricane.
Like, oh yeah, my bad, dude. Sorry, ex-Miami Hurricane who used to play here but doesn't play there and has fallen from grace and is a terrible human now, apparently. Like you would think you'd go after a little bit easier of a target, a guy who, maybe has a checkered past or something. But Ruben's not that guy, right?
And this happened in 2024. And he was not criminally charged in this case. And her family supports him. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. I think that it's unfortunate. And if I'm looking at how this impacts the draft, I think it is significant. Mm-hmm. I think it is hugely significant because if you look at, if we just sit here and look at the mock drafts, he was anywhere from 7 to 12. I think he's bottom half of the first round. And I think somebody is going to be very happy with that. I think. I obviously.
I mean, that may be where he was projected. but I think he's the kind of player that has opportunity to go higher than that. I think that he is the guy. He's the kind of player that he's very much an eye of the beholder player, right? If you're willing to look past the whole short arms thing and all the negativity he got through the combine for his measurables, and you just look at
Yeah.
what he did on the football field and like what he's capable of and his mentality and all that, whoever drafts him is going to get a home run of a player. I don't know. I always felt like anything past 10 was heavy. I felt like he was always going to be, maybe he doesn't reach up into the top 5, but certainly he's gone before. Like
I've
you'd be
seen
foolish
him.
not to get him.
I've seen him 7 to the Commanders. I've seen him 9 to the Chiefs. I've seen him 12 to the Saints, who clearly have a need defensively, right? But if you're, if you look at, he's not a top 5 pick. I don't care if before this story came out, he wasn't a top 5 pick. The Raiders are taking soon to be virgin for life Fernando Mendoza, Arvell Reese. If Arvell Reese gets past the Jets at number 2, just the Jets should fold. If you take anybody but Arvell Reese, I swear I will snap on Woody Johnson's face. Like, no, I'm not here for it today. I would think Arizona is going to go Mui Noah or Spencer Fano, one of those two.
Or trade.
You could trade. I could see the Cowboys trying to get up to that spot, but
Yeah.
I think there is no question the Titans are taking Jeremiah Love. I think the Giants are 5th. They're going to go defense. So maybe that's Sonny Styles. Maybe that could be a spot, I guess, for Ruben Bain, but I doubt it. They don't need a defensive lineman. They need linebackers and secondary. And then the Browns need skill positions, so I don't think they're going to take Bain. I think it's the Commanders. I think that's as early as he could go would be 7.
Maybe so.
Yeah. And would you take Ruben Bain over Caleb Downs? I certainly would not. I think Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Love are probably, in my opinion, project to be the 2 best players in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Caleb Downs that I think edges him over Jeremiah is that Caleb Downs has shown the ability to play in 4 different kind of defenses and captain all those defenses and be that dude. And I think that he's the kind of guy that like there's 2 different kind of safeties in the league, right? There's the guy that is extremely fast, covers a ton of ground, but maybe isn't as much of a leader as you'd like him to be on the back end of the defense. And then you've got the guy who is a big time leader, sees the play before it happens, understands what's happening, gets all the dudes lined up, makes the plays, like is never a problem. And I think that's who he is. And I think for a defense, that he's the kind of player that you would add to like a wild card team, and he puts you over the top on defense. And I think that's if you're, I probably wouldn't be drafting him if I was like a 3-win team. I just think that while, yes, he's a great player, I don't think that, having him is going to get you, is going to take you much like way further than getting like a Ruben Baines of the world or whatever. I just think it's situational, but yeah, there's no question about it that he should go to a team that's winning and needs a cherry on top guy because he can do that.
Do you have a best player in the draft?
I mean, I think best is tough in this draft. I think Jeremiah Love is probably the most talented player in the draft. If you just said, hey, like, who's the guy that you give the ball to and he can make the biggest impact the fastest? Probably Jeremiah Love. I think that this draft, if I was drafting this draft, I'd be all about defensive ends and linebackers. That's where I would be. I think that would be that. This is clearly a draft of go get it guys on defense. And because I'm a big believer in that. Their drafts are defined by, like there are quarterback drafts, there's defensive drafts, you have offensive lineman drafts. Like we've seen these different kind of drafts over the years. And I think that it's in this draft, I don't know that there's a best player. I think the way the draft order set up and the team's needs and things like that, Fernando wouldn't be going number 1 overall if this was a deeper draft quarterback wise. But because it's not, and because it's the Raiders, it works out. And so I would probably say Jeremiah Love's most talented, but I'm not sure that there's a best player.
I think it's probably, I mean, it's Jeremiah Love, I think, is the best player in the draft, but it's it's either Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs, one of those, probably 4. One of the Ohio State guys and Jeremiah Love. And I think it's going to be hard to separate them. I think it'd be very difficult to separate them. And anyway, we bring this up because I don't think Ruben Bain was the Laramie Tunsil who was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. Excuse me. I don't think he was ever going to be number 1. But I think when you look at Ruben Bain, he could have been top 7. And I don't think that happens now.
Yeah. I also think that if you're the guy, let's say you're a front office executive who wasn't big on Bain before this story came out. Let's say you were scared off by the whole short arms thing and you bought into all the measurables and all that. I think David Bailey is probably the overachiever of this group of guys. You look at you look at the linebacker setup, you look at the defensive end edge rusher setup, and I just think that he has a chance to really overachieve. And that those are the guys, if I was an NFL executive, those are the guys that I'm trying to get after. The guys that maybe people are like, well, is he actually going to be good, or what's it look like? And you can get him a little bit lower and get more value out of him. That's because a lot of people tied David Bailey to the Cardinals, but I just I guess I just don't have faith in the Cardinals front office to identify David Bailey as a pick at number 3 enough to the point where they would skip on trading out. I absolutely think that someone's going to pick up the Cardinals slot at 3. They're going to trade out just like they do most years and accumulate picks, and they'll draft between 10 and 20 like they do most years, and they've shown us that's who they are.
Yeah, Bailey is not. And I know Texas Tech fans already pissed about what I've said about Cody Campbell.
You just say Texas Tech fan. You're a Utah fan. Go home.
Bailey's not in the conversation as one of the best players in the draft. I mean, it is. I think it's pretty. Most people would tell you it's Jeremiah Love for top end prospect because of how effective he is catching the football and what a wanting blocker he is. But I think you'd be tough. I think you'd have a really tough time passing on Arvell Reese at 2, like for the Jets, let's say. But if I said to you, well, the Jets took Sonny Styles instead of Arvell Reese, you wouldn't bat an eye.
No. You
wouldn't bat an eye. I think it's unfortunate that the Raiders can't seem to pick anybody well in the draft because I see, and again, we've had this argument on the show. I think Ty Simpson is 75% better than Fernando Mendoza. I just think Fernando Mendoza is, everybody's making a big deal about his pro day performance now. And now we've taken to calling him like, a rocket arm. I saw on NFL Network the other day.
Dude, we need to get on the same page about pro days. I don't give a damn who you are, dude. I don't care if you're, this is my Bear Bachmeyer take that everyone got all pissy about. This is my Fernando take. This is my Ty Simpson take. If they can't go onto a field, like roll out of bed, put the cleats on, throw a t-shirt and shorts on, step onto the field and throw a 60-yard bomb down the sideline, I don't want them, dude. That's a prerequisite for being an NFL quarterback, dude. Like, nothing he did at his pro day did anything for. I would not have advised him to throw. Yeah. I wouldn't even had him do a pro day. Like, why are you even throwing? Are you really that concerned about people saying that you don't have a big arm? Like, why are you even doing a pro day, Fernando? Like, that's what I didn't understand. Like, whether like even for Ty, like I guess the only saving grace for Ty would have been if he felt like he wanted to try and improve his draft stock, I guess. But even like for Ty, the big thing is like, oh well, he's only got 15 starts in college, and the track record for guys in the NFL with 15 starts, in college is not good. We that historically speaking, it's not good. So if Ty wanted to improve that or help his reputation or whatever it might be, okay, at least then I could be like, all right, I get the pro day thing or the combine, I understand. But I just felt like that was a misstep in Fernando's process. No, like he calling him a rocket arm is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Like
based on his pro day.
Yeah, like what did you expect him to do? Like throw it over to throw it in a place where his guy can't catch it? Did you expect like in while I'm at it, Pat being at his pro day or whatever and glazing him and getting all pissy with Dan Orlovsky who was criticizing him and it's like, dude, like I get it, dude, you're an Indiana guy.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is this dude should be able to roll out of bed cold and make all these throws.
Yes.
Without even thinking about it. And he did. So I just don't even understand why everyone either way, whether you hate him or love him, like the pro day was just another pro day. I wasn't like, again, it's the Zach Wilson thing from several years ago when Zach makes this ridiculous rollout to the left, throw it 70 yards down the field. How'd that work out for the league? Like it's whether you can do it in pads at game speed under pressure.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting here watching it. Everybody looks good in their pro day. If you don't look good in your pro day,
your ass. I mean, it's just as simple as that, dude. Like, and again, I'm the Fernando defender on the show, and I'm saying that. Like, it's not like this is not in dispute. This is not even
not
a conversation, dude. Like, and that's the hard part too, is like quarterbacks get this sort of inherent advantage with pro days in the sense that everybody wants to take all this video and look at the bombs and, chicks dig the long ball. Like, oh my God, the guy can throw it 60 yards on a rope. Like, what did you expect? He's an NFL draft prospect, dude. Like, that's why I'm saying I don't know. I just always love that. Like, oh, we're gonna make it out like this guy. So it's Fernando Mendoza. Oh man, he's a God lover. Hey, he's the best. Rocket arm, amazing. Good Lord. Oh, but Ruben Bain, who a lot of people would argue is the best defensive player in the draft, whether he is or not is up to you, but a lot of people argue it. Oh, well, he had an accident 2 years ago that was already vetted and went through and nothing's happening with it. But let's dig that up and trash him because we have nothing better to do. I mean, that's the NFL, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this is one of the best parts about this draft, and it's the who's the best defensive player argument, and like the listening to Todd McShay talk about who the Jets should take at number 2. Like, I'm a nerd for that stuff. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see where Ruben Bain goes. Because I think if I had to guess, I think the highest he could be is 7 to the Commanders. But I could also see
I could see Dallas trading up to get him, dude. I really could. I don't
think so. I don't think so. I mean, I could see Dallas if does he fall to 20?
No. My opinion is he'll be a top 10 pick in my opinion. Somewhere between 7 and 10 he'll go. But it's just a matter of who's willing to trade up and who's willing to make a move on him, because that's what it's going to take. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you think about this whole car accident negative PR situation, combine that with
hit piece.
Yeah, the hit piece, and combine that with, who's sitting there between 10 and 20 and where he'd be potentially a fit for those squads, it kind of starts to make sense that people are trying to get him to fall a little bit so they don't have to trade up. So
yeah, I think the Cowboys could take him at 12. I don't think the Cowboys would trade up. I think you would But again, this goes back to what are the Kansas City Chiefs going to do, right? Because you have multiple opportunities to make a huge mistake from 7 to 10 in this draft, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the three most difficult positions because like Carnell Tate versus Jordan Tyson is a huge debate in NFL circles right now. I think it's Carnell Tate all day long.
Yeah,
I think Jordan Tyson I don't trust Jordan Tyson to be professional. I don't like the fact that, I don't know. I think I don't like that he's not healthy. I don't love his man.
Look at the league. Look at the size of these two. What's successful in the league right now? Mike Evans or JSN, right? Obviously different timelines. Mike Evans much older, totally get it. But if you look at today's league and you look at the build of wide receivers who are putting up numbers, it's much more trending towards 6 foot to 6'2", slot guy or really strong guy who's fast outside. And that's what Tate is. Tate's not, 6'5",
No, what is he? 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds. And I love the guy.
That's and again, it's this whole bite from Ryan Day, right? Again, this is the Ohio State thing, bro. Ohio State's only trying to bring in guys who are first or second rounders, and Carnell Tate is exactly that. I mean, look at this draft, dude. How loaded? Like, if you pick an Ohio State guy, like, how can you go wrong at this point? How do you just skip the fact that Ohio State bros are just falling off trees in their first and second round picks?
It is. I think it's very interesting that when you listen to Ryan Day talk about his players and you listen to the mental part of these guys. I say this about Kalani Sitake at BYU. It's what I don't like about Joey McGuire. Joey McGuire, you never hear Joey McGuire granularly talk about his roster or talk about, because he's not there as a head coach. You listen to guys like Deion Sanders do it. You listen to guys like Kenny Dillingham do it. They're all guys. They're all coaches that you want to play for. And if you listen to Ryan Day talk about who fits in at Ohio State, you immediately want to go play for him.
But I think it's just across the board at Ohio State. There's an expectation when you come here, you're coming to be a first or second rounder, regardless of your position. And that's it. Just like, if we don't win games and championships, they're going to find a new coach. Well, if you're not a first or second rounder, then this probably isn't the right place for you. And that's just the reality of it.
It's the reality of it.
Say the quiet part out loud, bro.
And I think the hard part I would say that if you look at the best football programs in the country and the best coaches, it's guys like Lane Kiffin. You don't have to like Lane Kiffin, but you want your kid to play for him. You don't have to like Ryan Day because his brother's a private investigator who exposed Michigan, but you want your kid to play for him, right? You want your kid to play for Kyle Whittingham. You want your kid to play for Kalani Sitake, right? You look at, you don't want your kid playing for a guy like Sonny Dykes. You don't want your kid playing for Dave Aranda. You look at the bottom of this league. You don't want your kid playing for 99% of the teams in the Big 12. You don't want your kid, your first pick's not Colin Klein. Your first pick is, dude, the hardest part about beating Ohio State is not the money. Because the money is an afterthought. If you're going to beat Ohio State, you're going to outspend them likely, or at least get to their level. Money's not why you're going to beat Ohio State. You're going to beat Ohio State because your mentals are right. Why is Marcus Freeman not a national champion today? Because he didn't have an elite quarterback. Ohio State's got 3 of them. Why is Marcus Freeman just now figuring out, well, you know what? This is a 365 job. It's every day of the entire year. Because he got left on the outside of the college football playoff, even though they went on the Bavakwa run of 10 games like nobody's ever seen and stuff.
Bavakwa.
You got left on the outside looking in because you weren't talented enough. You weren't strong enough. You weren't fast enough. So now what happened? You put a bunch of dudes in the NFL and you pretty much upgraded everywhere. Because you realize that you have all the money in the world, you're still not winning because your mentals weren't right. And then Ryan Day says, you know, if you're not a first or second round pick, this probably isn't the place for you.
Do you even live?
Thanks for coming. And it's really nice that you want to be a Buckeye, but we don't want you to be a Buckeye.
Listen,
so
why
fuck
don't
off.
you head over to Miami of Ohio? I hear they have a really good basketball team. You could
And you get
probably
free
fit in
tattoos
there.
over there. Go be a Bobcat.
You know, like just go over there. It'll be fine. It'll all work out for you.
I love it. I love it. I am a huge fan of that mentality. So I'm all here for it. And I'll just go back to where we started. This Ruben Bain thing is a hit piece, and I hate it. I can't stand it. It's every single year. And I agree with everybody who's like, yep, this is Laramie Tunsil, who was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. And we're just not willing to do it.
Tampering.
We're not willing to do it. And we're not willing to. Dude, I remember being at ESPN for that draft and watching that thing fall apart. I want to say that was 2016. Something like 2016, 2017 draft, whatever it was. And just watching Laramie Tunsil fall down the draft board. And if I remember right, and I can look it up, I'd have to go back and look at that draft. There was a trade. I want to say that like I want to say there was a trade leading up to that draft. That was the Jared Goff draft where the Rams took Goff. Like, I'm telling you, man, this is a hit piece. This is Laramie Tunsil all over again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get your comments. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. 100%. Yes, he was. You are wholly wrong on this. Wholly wrong. Wholly wrong on this. Laramie Tunsil was the number 1 prospect in the NFL draft in 2016. Let's go back to Pro Football Focus and look at the composites.
Google me.
Bro, you guys make this so easy. 2016 NFL draft.
Do you think Bro would be out here saying that Tunsil was trying to be the number 1 pick in the draft? If
Everybody
dude,
is a.
It never ceases to amaze me, bro. And Mike, you're usually pretty good, dude, but you're asking for Amaniism on this one, bro.
The Philadelphia Eagles traded up. The Rams took, what was it? The Rams took Goff. I think Carson Wentz wound up going 2 in that draft. And that was like Bosa. That was the Zeke Elliott draft.
God, Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then our tackle from Notre Dame that was a complete bust. Oh my God. Ronnie Staley. Complete bust. Taken before Laramie Tunsil. Laramie Tunsil. Thank you. Jesus. Laramie Tunsil was a 98.6. The second best graded player in the draft was Joey Bosa at 94.2. Do you guys understand? That's like the dark side of the moon versus the Artemis side.
Yeah, the Artemis side.
Do you know how much different 98 and 94 is in the draft? Laramie Tunsil was by far the best player in that draft. And it is wild to me. It is wild to me. Anybody telling you that Laramie Tunsil wasn't going number 1 before the hack You know.
The hack.
What are you, nuts?
And there was also, if memory serves, this is how well I remember the Tunsil situation. There was also a situation where he asked a coach at Ole Miss to give him money so his mother could pay his, I want to say it was like her water or gas bill or something, like a utility bill. And he admitted, I think at the draft or the post-draft interview, that indeed he had taken money from a coach at Ole Miss to pay his mom's, it was like a utility bill. Like Laramie Tunsil was number one. Number one. He was by far the best prospect in that draft. By far. And it's just what we do, man. It is what we do. We rip these guys down. And I just will never. Here's the. Where is it? Okay. PFF. NFL media analyst Lance Zierlein compared Tunsil to all-pro tackle Tyron Smith and predicted that he would be the best left tackle in the league or one of the top two within 3 years. After his outstanding performance in offensive line drills at the NFL Combine, we see no scenario that Tunsil doesn't go number one in this draft. Tunsil has further cemented himself as the elite prospect in this draft with his pro day workout after the Combine.
Oh.
Nah, he sucks. Come on, man. Anyway, it's fine. Again, okay, now we're going to, okay. It's, dude, you be the draft expert. I'll just, you be the guy. I'll just be over here, This is my first day ever talking about the draft, so.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Alex says, Ohio State football, my favorite subject. Ryan Day is a stud. Ryan Day is a stud.
Ain't no way around it, bro.
So, yeah. Chewy Gonzalez, hello. Ryan Day should do the Oregon ice cream test to not have crappy players.
Yeah, boy.
Still one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Hey, there's a little Oregon conversation next time.
Oh my God, dude. The Oregon ice cream test.
It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. Right? Like, King of Thailand is here this morning. Hello. Isn't today, I was reading, I look at the calendar of the day, because every day it's like National, like, Shoelace Day or whatever. It's National Laramie Tunsil sucks and was never going to be the best prospect in the draft day. Shut up, Monty.
It's National Laramie Tunsil was an ass prospect day.
Yes, thank you. Good call. I want to say today is like Taiwanese New Year's or something like that. Independence? Something like that. I'm too old. It's too early. Question, best month of the year for college and professional sports for me, late October World Series, NFL and college football, but some say April. I think the draft, I've always been a draft nerd. I've been really fortunate to be able to cover the draft, analyze the draft, be around a lot of dudes that know how to do that, be taught to do that, like have access to data. At like when you're able to look at the way a player projects, and then you can take what your eye sees and put data to it. It's incredible. Again, the only thing I usually don't miss on is quarterbacks. Fernando Mendoza is not going to be amazing. But, then again, what do I know about Laramie Tunsil? So, Mendoza playing in Sin City, hell yeah, let's go Sinners. Okay. It is Thai New Year's. There you go.
So what's on the agenda then? What are we doing for New Year's?
He's got a young girlfriend. Frankly, the Raiders need to trade down. No. No, again, maybe you and I just look at the draft differently. I don't know. The biggest single mistake the Raiders could make would be trading out of that spot. You've identified your quarterback. You're all in. You've dedicated all of your assets and resources to identifying Fernando Mendoza and developing him.
You signed Kirk Cousins to develop him, dude. You're drafting him.
Yes. You have Ashton Ginty there. You've paid Kirk Cousins. You have a scenario in place, which Tom Brady's talked about. How many times is Tom Brady going to say, I believe a quarterback shouldn't play in his first year? Because what did Tom Brady do? Did Tom Brady play right out of the gate? Nope, not until Drew Bledsoe's lung exploded in his chest. That's the model that Tom Brady and the Raiders believe in. You've built that model. You've identified the quarterback who you can sit. You go all in. You do not. This is absolutely would be the wrong decision to trade out of this. You have your guy that you've spent money and time analyzing, and you do not trade out. You have to. The Raiders have got to get off the quarterback carousel. And it's unfortunate you have the number one pick in the year where it's inarguably the worst quarterback draft we've seen in some time. This is a very, very light quarterback draft. Like I think you'll only have Mendoza in the first round. I don't think Ty Simpson will be a first round pick. So it'll be interesting to see, because you also have to remember what their roster looks like. If you can't get a guy like a Brock Bowers or an Ashton Ginty, because you have to throw the ball to the running back in this league to win. If you cannot get him the ball, or you can't get Brock Bowers the ball, what's the point of having them on your roster? You have watched this team toil, and now you have a quarterback that you believe can play your system. You go all in on that quarterback.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the right football move. Trading out, in my opinion, would be a nothing short of a wreck.
They're not going to trade out. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Tunsil not going to be number one overall. The Rams traded up to 2. Well, you can keep dying on that hill, dude.
Dude, Mike, here's the problem, bro. Here's the problem. See, now you just won't let it go. Here's the problem. It doesn't matter what the Rams or the Eagles did. That's not the point
at all.
Dude. That's not. You're trying to have two different conversations here, bro. The point is that going into the draft, before any picks were made, Laramie Tunsil was going to be the number one pick.
Marcus is like, I hate the meat locker called the NFL drafting. Even I know Laramie Tunsil was going to go number one until Buddy blazed that bong wearing a gas mask, as an afterthought. That's how you do that thing. Put on the gas mask and live your best.
Just go hard, dude. Yeah, be fully committed, right? Fully committed, full send. Like, but again, it's not about what happened in the draft. It's about what we're talking about is what was it supposed to be versus what did it turn into after gas mask video got published.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And that's why I hate this Ruben Bain thing. It's just, it's ridiculous. This draft is very defensive heavy. It is. And I love
defensive draft, dude.
I'm a big believer. I'm still a big believer championships are won on defense. I think if you look at the Seahawks, they are a great example of that. Now, do you win without a quarterback? No. But when you have a defense that can compete on all three levels, you're dominant. At that point, you need a serviceable quarterback. I also think we have to get out of quarterbacks playing in shotgun 99% of the time. Like, it's finally the data is starting to come out to support my belief that the shotgun offense at college is killing NFL offensive quality. I'm a huge believer in that, and not many people agree with me, which I totally get. I am telling you, the shotgun is killing the quality of offense in the NFL.
Yeah, that's why I think that organizations got to get off the expectation that if they draft a quarterback, it's just going to be, he's going to come right in and dominate. That's not the process anymore. We've seen this over the last 5 years, dude. The process is now, and this is why I like what the Raiders are doing. And I feel weird saying it, right? I mean, it almost feels taboo to be praising the Raiders for what they're doing, But this is the path we've all talked about. Look at the best quarterbacks in the league. They all sat behind somebody. They all learned first, and then were asked to produce. Like, again, look at Patrick Mahomes, right? It's the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Alex Smith triangle of greatness, dude. And again,
triangle of greatness.
They're just trying to replicate a process that works to get Fernando Mendoza into a place where he can be the next Kirk Cousins. Because I agree with that comp. I mean, if you look at how he would project, a successful career would look like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I don't think he ever projects to be the best quarterback in the NFL. I just don't. I mean, the guy won a national championship, so it's going to be difficult not to take him number one. But again, I would tell you Ty Simpson is far more pro style, pro ready. I think the pressure that Ty Simpson played under last year in that environment where they had failed and they were looking and they essentially had to be perfect, and he was really, really good. And his mentals are really, really good. He makes every throw. Like, I'm a big believer that Ty Simpson, and again, I still think Cole Payton's probably the best if we're just talking about quarterbacks in the draft. I think he is incredible. But then again, that's why I do a little Monty Show and not run somebody's front office. So that is, to me, there's just no scenario the Raiders should trade that pick.
They're not going to.
Yeah, I just don't. There's no way that A, that's not happening, and B, it just doesn't make football sense. That doesn't math, because they have the offense. They now need a quarterback to build that future on. And I also think Kirk Cousins is a guy who he has historically played a lot of games. Now, obviously, in recent times, he's had a lot of injuries. So I think it's going to be very difficult for him to it's going to be very difficult for Mendoza to get on the field. But, we'll see. How long before Cousins gets injured behind I don't think honestly, I think their offensive line will be better. Running back is not a dinosaur. Relax. I think.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means. I think that the running back position has evolved in recent years, over the last 3 years, because of the explosion of tight ends now and the leverage that tight ends play with in this league. It is given the running back, because you have to drop linebackers to cover the seam with, like, you look at the Bears with Colston Loveland, perfect example. They can run him on an out route, and he's effective enough as a route runner where they have to respect the out route that he's able to get vertical. What does that mean? Linebackers have to drop, and there's a hell of a lot more space to throw the football to the running back. So you have to be able to have a running back who can catch the football. So I think that's why Derrick Henry is such an odd fit in so many offenses. And frankly, I think it's why the Ravens are hesitant to use him or had been under Harbaugh.
Or it could be that he put the football on the ground too much and they scared him off.
You cannot fumble the football.
Yeah.
I agree with that. What round do you guys think players like Jeremiah Love or Carnell Tate will get drafted? They're first-round guys, both of them.
Yeah, I think Carnell Tate.
What do you mean, what round?
Dude, I think Carnell Tate has the potential to be low top 10, like 7 to 10. I don't
think there's any question. Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are by far, it's not close, the two best running backs in this draft.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Mike Washington from Arkansas, maybe, or
I think Carnell Tate.
Emmett Johnson, maybe from Nebraska.
Carnell Tate has more options in terms of who could draft him, just because of his, I just think as a wide receiver, there's just a lot more offenses and schemes and things that you can kind of fit into. I think if you're drafting Jeremiah Love, you're a team that has a clear need, obviously, for a back, but beyond that, understands how to use the back. Because I do agree that there are teams who just don't understand it and don't understand how to set it up and leverage it, and when to run between the tackles, when to run outside the tackles. when to throw it to the back, how to develop a back to provide you good pass pro. Like there's a lot within the running back position that I think, is left to be desired in the league. And that's why I think the great running backs in the league get paid so much, because they are sort of a rare bird nowadays. The guy that can do it all is definitely hard to find. And I do think Jeremiah projects to do it all, is because, as you were saying earlier, his willingness to block definitely sets him apart.
Yeah, the wide receiver stuff, that's what's going to be interesting. Like, Jordan Tyson terrifies me. You will not find me drafting him.
No.
Maybe I'm a huge swing and miss on that guy, and he just becomes the next Randy Moss or Jerry Rice. Great. I'm not taking that risk. I think Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon. I love the kid out of, oh my God, his name went right out of my head. Indiana, Cooper. I think Omar Cooper Jr. is incredible. Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M, incredible. I would take all of them before I would take Jordan Tyson at ASU. The only one that I'm not, like Denzel Boston, I have no idea what to make of that dude. I don't know what, because Demond Williams was, this is a huge year for him. But
you think?
Yeah. I mean, I probably would go Carnell Tate number 1. Mekhi Lemon number 2. Omar Cooper number 3. And then, man, I think it's really close. Like Concepcion, Denzel Boston, Kenyon Sadiq. Because I think Kenyon Sadiq's talented enough to run routes as a wide receiver. I think you will see Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, who it twitches every time I think about him.
Well, I thought Oregon sucked and they were terrible.
No, Dan Lanning. Or you sucked, Dan. Anyway, the point is,
You ain't first, you're last.
I think Sadiq in the slot in any NFL offense is a weapon. He's Colston Loveland 2.0, but better. He's incredible. He is incredible. Look at that Pixar mom.
So James.
Dana, who's never proven herself a member for 14 months.
Have you made it out of the trunk yet?
Apparently she has. Oh, look at that. Calamonian with 20 Monty Show memberships. Calamoni, appreciate you. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. Good to see you. If you don't have a membership now, you know. It's fine. Jay Chapman's like, way to go. Baldwin go in the hoop. Way to go. The second running back taken will probably be, it's not probably. There is such a cavernous schism between 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Legitimately, and I should look up what PFF has ranked as running backs. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Crevasse. I think I know for a fact, I was looking at the composite 100, which basically is the top 100 rated draft analysts and their composite position rankings. Every single one of them has Jeremiah Love 1 and Jadarian Price 2. And it is really not that close after that. By most accounts, I want to say on 89% of the composites, Mike Washington from Arkansas was 3rd, but it's like a massive span between Jadarian Price and Mike Washington. It's not even close. And that's the thing with the quarterbacks, Mendoza and Ty Simpson. Everybody has Mendoza and Ty Simpson 1 and 2, but it's some of them it's by like a 10th of a point, which tells you it's going to be very interesting to see. The wild thing is with the quarterbacks, who's the 3rd best quarterback in the draft?
I don't know either.
I don't think anybody has a real, like, you would think it would be Garrett Nussmeier with his experience.
Listen, If you don't have access to Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson, you shouldn't be drafting quarterback in this draft. Period.
Totally
you should be
agree.
drafting defense.
Totally agree.
Just that simple.
I think it is going to be it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. And because I just don't think, for me, I just don't see how this draft is so bad in quarterbacks.
I just think it's just how it worked out, like timing wise. You know, I think that, and this is my point. This is what I was saying earlier. Is that I think front offices have to be. This is the discipline of the draft, right? Like this is understanding. Okay, here's where we are. Here's what's available in the draft, and here are a couple of the different routes that we can kind of take. But if you're taking a questionable, like if you make a pick that's questionable at the quarterback position, you're just asking for trouble. You're burning opportunities. You're setting the organization back. Whereas if you just said, yeah, you know what, like this is not our year to pick quarterback. We're gonna have to find, we'll have to find a free agent, or we'll make a deal to bring in a vet of some kind or whatever it might be. And that's going to be a position that we're going to have to work through most of this season and just be cool with that. But we will draft defense, or we will draft O-line, or maybe we draft running back or another skill position. Like that to me has always been the discipline of the draft. And it's why good organizations remain good and bad organizations remain bad. It's why the Jets are still asked to this day. Because every single year you want to draft a quarterback, even though the draft screams to draft defense, right? Like the Jets, I agree. If the Jets don't take Arvell Reese, somebody should get smacked with a stick. Like I don't know what you're looking at. Like
how
why
do you
are
pass
you taking
on that
in?
guy?
How are you? One, how do you pass on him? But then two, how do you look at another player and you're like, yeah, another player is going to be better for us than Arvell. Like, come on, like, what are you even doing?
I'm going to say Arvell Reese on the composite 100 is like number 3 of all prospects in this draft, with Jeremiah Love 1. I think Caleb Downs is 2, Arvell Reese is 3, and Fernando Mendoza is 4.
Yeah, nobody would criticize you if you took Arvell Reese. It's a can't miss pick. Like just
can't miss.
Just do
cannot miss. But then again, difficult. Jordan Tyson's a top 10 prospect in the top 100. So
yeah,
he terrifies me, dude.
Everybody and their mom agrees he's an injury guy.
Well, and I just hate his attitude.
Yeah,
I cannot stand his attitude.
Dude, you're gonna pay him to not play football. He's that guy.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
He is a rehab room warrior.
Bro, there's so many. Does Arizona State put great players in the NFL?
I don't know. Are we calling Cam Scattaboo a great player?
Are we calling Brandon Ayuk a great player?
No, we're not.
Because I would draw big comparisons between Ayuk and Tyson in the mentals, in the human profile. And I just don't believe, and this is just my opinion, I don't believe that Jordan Tyson has the mentals to be an NFL prospect.
Yeah.
I don't. But again, that's me. Mendoza is clearly the best QB in this draft. Yeah, I don't know that I agree with you on that.
I think we all know you don't agree with Buddy on that.
What does that mean? Is Fernando Mendoza, do you project Fernando Mendoza to be the best NFL quarterback in this draft? Okay, I think that's a different statement than is he the best prospect? Because again, if I go back and
what are you drafting for then? I guess that's the question.
Well, look at Laramie Tunsil's draft. Because again, it feels like this is a really good argument.
Uh-huh.
Laramie Tunsil or Jared Goff. I'd rather have Laramie Tunsil. Laramie Tunsil or Carson Wentz. I'd rather have Laramie Tunsil. Joey Bosa, I'd probably rather have. Has Joey Bosa been a dominant defensive player?
Yeah. Yes. Worth it.
I don't know if I agree that he's been the number 3 overall draft pick. I mean, the guy, in my opinion, he's got 77 sacks.
How many years in the league?
What is it,
now?
10 years? In
God, has
10
it been
years.
10 already?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, 2016. 10 years. And
Oh, seven and a half a year. Man.
number 3 pick in the draft.
What would have been good? 10 a year?
That's really tough, but DeForest Buckner or Laramie Tunsil. I'm probably taking Laramie Tunsil. And this is why I continue to say.
Buckner was a hell of a player, dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Was.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Bose has 77 sacks. Buckner's got 71 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So has Bose been that dominant of a performer? I don't think he has. I don't think he has. And now, if we're talking about Nick Bosa, now we're having a different conversation. But Sheldon Rankins or Vernon Hargraves or Eli Apple, Leonard Floyd, Jack Conklin.
That's my concern, though, with
you
Ty
took
Simpson,
Jack
dude.
Conklin over Laramie Tunsil.
That's my concern with Ty. Is I agree with you that he can make the throws, mentals are good. I agree with that. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way when he got put on the bench at the end of the season a little bit, and kind of how that whole situation just seemed a little weird to me.
He didn't get benched. I think this argument was had over the weekend on a potty I was listening to. Ty Simpson never got benched.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Then what happened?
Their whole team was falling apart. So I don't know. I don't put anything that happened at Alabama. How do you explain I don't know what happened to their offense, because when you have the quality of wide receivers that they have, somebody will need to explain to me how it went so wrong at Alabama. Because when I look at their numbers, Ryan Williams had 49 catches and 689 yards and only 4 touchdowns. Make that he's part
of the problem.
Yes.
His attitude is part of the problem.
And he doesn't route run.
But I also think that, I don't know, man. You're a Ty Simpson guy. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the essence of the draft, dude. I think that
you're not benching a guy who, what did he, 3,500 yards, 28 interceptions, or 28 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
That's not the decision in the moment, dude. Nobody gives a damn what you've done all year in the moment. That's not the point. The point is that you're in this moment where who were they playing? I don't remember who they were playing, but basically I remember it being a team that wasn't a team that they should have beaten or everyone expected them to beat. I can't remember who it was, but like you're playing a team that everyone expected you to beat, and it's just you're not playing well. And part of that's on your receivers. There were a ton of drops in that game. Part of that's on Ty.
And Ryan Williams was terrible.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Like, what's difficult is that he got sat down when the game was basically at a point where they were just like, all right, we're done with this game. That's what I remember that situation being, without having gone back and looked at it. But whether you want to call it bench, taken out of the game, whatever, dude, however you want to categorize it, right? Either way. That look was not a great look. Now, I'm not saying that situation.
You're playing Indiana, who's going to go on and win a national championship and be the best defense in the country.
Okay.
I don't put that on Ty Simpson. It's not like Austin Mack came in and threw the ball all over the place. I think there is this want to. I think there is this want to find ways to pick guys apart. And I understand some of that's human nature, and it's the NFL draft, and We're talking about the way this guy looks in a Speedo with his meat hanging out in front of thousands of people. Totally get it. Ty Simpson didn't get benched against Indiana. That game was over. So I don't know. It's perspective, I guess. Brandon Butler, remember, for 39. We're on 39 months now.
Yes.
That's
Next month will
wild.
be 40 for some individuals.
The question for me is, when does Diego start for the Browns at quarterback this year?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
I don't know. Is the great washcloth king gonna play or no?
Jake.
I mean, is Diego's mom and Deshaun gonna be in the massage room together? Is she gonna measure the size of his washcloth or not?
You're being ridiculous now.
What do you mean? I mean, that's her style, isn't it?
What will the Cleveland Browns do?
Be terrible and make an awful selection as usual.
Okay. Listen, I get it. I get it.
Like, how
I
dumb
get
do
it.
you have to be to take Dylan Gabriel and then take Shador Sanders? Like, nothing, not even to do with Shador. Just if I said, hey, you're going to take 2 quarterbacks late in the draft, how dumb do you have to be? Like, you're foolish. Like, I don't understand it, man. And then we're going to be like, oh, Kevin Stefanski went to Atlanta, and now all of a sudden they're a 9-win team. Who knew? Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I think I would look at the Cleveland Browns, and you hired Todd Monken.
Who then missed the NFL coach's photo during the meetings because he was late after, I believe, getting a haircut on the property, if memory serves. Like, how does that happen, Todd?
Yeah,
Dude, I mean, be better, bro.
you're Todd Monken.
Like, come on, man.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. Enter Danny Jones in the Giants. Danny Dimes. And he's done. Again, cautionary tale. Oh, Anthony Richardson's going to be amazing. I told you. I don't told you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I told you. Doesn't the first overall pick almost always choose quarterback? Sometimes. Unless the offensive
Typically.
lineman smokes weed. Bosa started off, but injuries have hurt him. Well, but don't injuries define NFL greatness?
Yeah.
I have always said legacies love to make excuses, and injuries are an excuse. You are an NFL legend or you are hurt. It's one of the two. You can't be both. You can't be an NFL legend who's hurt all the time. It doesn't work that way because you have to play. You have to play. So Mendoza is clearly the best quarterback in the draft. Yeah, maybe. Pat Tillman, Jake Plummer, ASU alumni. But were either of them elite players?
Jake Plummer certainly was not.
Pat Tillman was a good player.
Yeah, Pat Tillman was a pretty good player. Yeah.
Good player, not a Hall of Fame player.
Good enough to be a week-to-week contributor, certainly. Not a Hall of Fame player, but good enough to be a week-to-week
I think he was a
contributor.
starter in the league.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. I mean, the look at the legend of Pat Tillman. He left a massive NFL contract behind to go fight for our country. So,
yeah.
Someone will fall in love with Drew Aller's size and arm and take him only for it to bite them in the arse.
Dude, this is
agree.
A family show. Talking about bros' size is probably not, going to be, allowed.
Yeah. Good morning, bros. SEO is the way. Yes, it is. Got to talk about BYU here in a second. Mendoza's aunt, Diego's mom. Well, I disagree. I disagree. Then again, a guy that smashes Walmart managers probably shouldn't be talking about who's hot and who's not.
You fucking donkey.
You know. I'm just saying.
Well, listen, Monty, I got her in the discount clothing section, and it just happened.
You know.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
You ever smashed on a pallet of Legos, Monty? Don't knock it till you try it.
Go play intramurals, brother.
It's fine. It's fine. Is what it is. David Persons for $2. Who are the Heisman contenders for next season? Well,
I mean,
this is easy.
now Darian Mensa the way.
Shut up. Darian Mensa. It is CJ Carr, Arch Manning, and Dante Moore. That's it.
What about what? No, Buddy at Ohio State.
Julian Sand?
Yeah.
No. Not above
You
those
don't think
three.
he's even in the conversation?
Not above those three. Not above those three.
I mean, I agree.
CJ Carr,
Obviously, CJ Carr and Arch, of course.
and I think Dante Moore, there's a ton of pressure on Dante Moore. Mainly because Chaboy is ass. But, I mean, you could look at Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sand, sure. But
Josh Hoover's got to be in the conversation.
stop.
What? What? He went to Indiana. He's going to be in the playoff. Like, come on.
You don't always have to be negative, Jake.
Well, people will read your positive takes. I don't
No,
have
they
any.
won't. Yeah, I don't have any. They're not reading
Yeah.
mine because I don't have none.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Come on.
Get a life, Jake.
Yeah, dude.
People need to need to get a life.
Everybody needs to get a life, bro. Get a life, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, dude.
I think CJ Carr or bust. So it's probably bust, in my opinion. Hey, real quick, because SEO's the way. Is BYU dominating the Big 12? Ask yourself this question. You look at these TV rankings right here. This is a composite of basketball and football. West Coast. How on earth is BYU with no access to a championship within 25 million views of Oregon, who is unquestionably the biggest brand on the West Coast?
Yeah.
And Arizona basketball, unquestionably the best basketball team on the West Coast. How is BYU at 40 or 58.1 million?
Dude, they've got a ton of fans, bro. I mean, just a ton.
And you look at the haves and the have-nots. If you're Utah, this is humiliating.
Yeah.
This is humiliating. That you're getting out-watched by Colorado, Arizona State, and nobody in the state of Arizona watches TV. Mainly because their TV sets melted and they're destroyed. But nobody in Arizona, the Arizona State rivalry is not even really that passionate, in my opinion. People don't make it a thing to watch college football in Arizona. And you're getting drugged by Colorado, ASU, UCLA.
Yeah, that was the one that I saw where I was like, hold on a second. Like, how did UCLA outperform you?
You're getting drugged by UCLA.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting too about what you were just saying there about BYU not playing for a championship this past season in either sport? The interesting part of that is that I think what contributes to the number being so high, outside of the fact they have a whole army of people watching just generally, is that they were contending almost the entire year. And I would even go as far as to say, after you got boat raced by Tech the first time, I think that reinvigorated BYU fan, because I think BYU fan was like, hey, we lost to these guys, but look at the schedule. We get a second crack, we'll beat them.
Yeah.
And then you tuned in for that. Obviously, it didn't work out, but I think that the way the schedule worked out, I think that really sort of stoked the fire of BYU fan for sure.
I think it's really interesting that BYU is far, far, far more of a brand than anybody else in this league. Yeah. And now, listen, I understand that we're all fired up to play on Friday night.
Bro, we got to talk about this, dude. Holy crap,
I get
dude.
it. I get it. Everything runs through Provo in this league.
But Monty, Lubbock, West Texas.
The league's biggest brand is in demand.
Oh, so now you're the biggest brand.
And now you're in demand, and it's not, the end of the world that you're playing on Friday night.
Oh.
What do the Mormons have to... I'm going to give you a free pass on that level of stupidity. I'm going to give you a free pass on that.
Paul didn't go in the hoop.
I'm going to let you off the hook on just how dumb that comment is. God. Like, every day that I think you can't do it, you do it. I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm here. Don't worry.
I can only imagine that you run a hose from the tailpipe into the compartment of your Japo shitbox, and that's how you find a way to say something dumber today than yesterday.
Oh, dude.
I always love the take, well, Monty, the Mormon church. Let me just, and I know this is breaking news. Kinsley and Ben don't care about sports.
Kinsley.
Okay. Shaylee and
Shaylin.
Will don't.
Breland.
Do you understand that the Garden Variety Mormon has no idea if BYU is good or bad in lacrosse or football? And let me break this to you gently. Mormons are incredibly wealthy. Like, didn't he call them broke or poor? What did you say, poor? There are Mormons in all 50 states. They are poor man's Notre Dame. They're not poor.
Yeah, the Mormons are doing much better than the Catholics, bro.
Oh my God. Help me. Tell me not, and I understand that you have semen demon and D-men and H-men and your mom's men. I totally get it. Yeah, MDiv on this D, totally get it. How are you so uneducated about Mormons? Yes, Mike Chase, Mormons are not poor.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's going to rain tortillas Friday night in West Texas.
Okay,
yes, it is.
So this is what I think is hilarious, dude. Dude, Cody Campbell huffed and puffed and made all this noise and went after Brett Yormark and everything the Big 12 runs through Lubbock, only to have Texas Tech create a custom graphic that claims Texas Tech is the biggest brand in the Big 12 in that they're getting showcased on Friday night. Dude, how much crow has Cody had over the last couple of days, dude? I mean, I just think this is hilarious. What happened to all the narrative and the junk about, Brett works for us, dude. Brett works
Everything
for
runs
us.
through Lubbock, bro.
Dude, I sit on the chair of the board and Brett works for us. He doesn't run the Big 12. Oh, but it turns out the TV partners do. And it turns out you're not changing the schedule, dude. And Fox does have the right to flex the game. It's just, I can't believe it, dude.
Okay. It is, it's crazy to me that and the Joey McGuire bite. This is the one that just, if you're not infuriated by this, you're not paying attention.
I respect and totally. I'm a traditionalist in a lot of ways, but man, I don't want a 25-day layoff in the most important game that I could play in my entire life.
Couldn't agree more.
And so the reason we don't is because we're still doing the stuff that we've always done. We're not fixing anything. We're not fixing, like, for me, if you disagree that there should be 24 teams in the playoff, you're right. But that's the only way it's going to blow up, because then they have to fix it. Like if you go 16, TV's like, hey, we've got that built in. You go 24, it doesn't. And until we blow it up from the TV perspective and reshuffle this whole thing, we're going to have Signetti's the only dude that's been able to do it in 2 years. And he won it all. He's the only guy that's figured out how to have a 25-day layoff and still win that game.
Saying the quiet part out loud. We're going to blow up the TV deal so it's easier to win.
I want you to listen to me.
We don't want to get Signetti'd, so we won't play on Friday night. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. That's the part that just, and that's why, yes, Texas Tech just Dr. Seussed us with that post. Biggest brand in demand, get out of here.
Yeah,
right?
I just think that the hypocrisy in the little brother syndrome of Texas Tech is just, I mean, it just couldn't be brighter, dude. It couldn't be more apparent, dude. Oh, schedule update. Look at the schedule. Look at how great our schedule is. We're getting showcased twice on Friday night.
They want us on Fridays.
Like,
the league can't live without us.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, you guys act like, and I've agreed with the take from day one, bro. Like, I can't remember how long ago it was that someone rolled this up, but Tech acts like because they won the Big 12 one time, that like they should be catered to, and the Big 12 needs them. And it's like, dude, why can't you just say, you know what? Last year was last year, dude. Like we got a new quarterback. We got a different, we got other guys stepping up on defense now. Like we got things to work on this year. Like, let's go win the league again, right? Like that's what it's about. Instead, you're like, yeah, we won the league, so now you got to cater us. We're not playing on Friday nights, not because we think Friday nights are dumb, but all because high school football is more important than the Big 12. That's what I don't get. I would have even felt better about it if you were like, yeah, you know what? Like, we are the biggest brand of the conference, and we don't feel like we should have to play on Fridays. Notice that wasn't the take. The take originally was, hey, high school football is a, quote, institution in the state of Texas, and that's why we as Texas Tech in Lubbock can't be seen to be doing business on Friday night. Like, you guys are the worst of the worst, dude. You're the little brother mentality of the Big 12 right now, meaning you guys just have such a need to be important. You're just so thirsty to be important. Yeah. And you're not. You're not. Like, it's not that way. Go win the league 3 out of the next 5 years, and then you can start doing this type of thing.
Yeah, the Big 12's got to figure out TV numbers, and it's really tough, in my opinion, that when you start looking at the way that this stuff works, it's awfully difficult. It's inarguable that Texas Tech had the most viewers in college football in the Big 12. And I agree that is significant. That does not mean you're the biggest brand in the conference. I think it's BYU, and I'm not sure it's close. Yeah. I'm not sure it's close. I really don't. Complaining about playing Friday night to, hey, we're the best in getting 2 Friday night games. That is some serious Class A spin. Bill O'Reilly would be proud. He would.
Yeah, F it. We'll do it live, right? Like, come on.
Yeah. Roche, I feel like if they restructured a TV deal right now, it could be less. It would be less.
Yeah.
Facts. Because your TV numbers are declining. Tech needs to just sit here and go the Belichick way. We're on to 2026. We're on the 2026.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly what you should do.
Shouldn't be talking, dude. Like,
no more zero blitzes against Abilene. Yeah, those days should be over. I like Scoop. I like Friday night games. Maybe I'm just weird. They're
Oh no, that's a different conversation, dude. That's a different thing. If we're talking about enjoyment, yeah, dude, I like Friday night football for sure, 100%. Friday night game, it is awesome, especially when the baseball season's over, when you don't have anything competing with it and you need something. Yeah, I mean it comes in clutch. There's no question about it. That's not even the conversation though. The conversation is just all around how Tech position this and their self-importance and their need to be in the spotlight apparently. And what I think is hilarious is I haven't seen any comment from Cody Campbell on this one. Notice he didn't go to the news on this one, Cody. Notice there was no new TV commercial cut. Like, where are you, dude? Like what where are you supporting the fact that your team's getting showcased on Friday night? Oh, that's right. You can't do that because you said Friday night was a bad idea. So you can't be seen to be supporting this idea, even though it's good for Texas Tech. That's your problem, bro.
That's exactly right. I just don't buy the whole thing. I don't buy the whole thing. Even Tommy Norris agrees with Jake and Monty on Texas Tech thing. Sorry, my cheap landman reference to get Monty to read this comment.
Okay, so now you're going full Monty doesn't read my comments. Is that what this is?
Get a membership. I'll read your comments.
I mean, there was only 20 of them handed out for free today.
If Tech doesn't want to play on Friday, switch it up and give that game to TCU. Who wants to watch TCU football?
Well, who wouldn't want to watch Josh Hoover play, right? Oh,
better watch Indiana.
Right. That's right.
I think right now TCU is one of the least attractive brands in the conference. I just think what is interesting about TCU. And now James is going to go on about CNS seating and, Tarrant County, boy. I think BYU is the biggest brand in the Big 12. I don't have any question about it. You're dominating and I know again, everybody tells me that basketball doesn't matter and this is football. You really think basketball doesn't matter when you have that many people tuning in to watch AJ DeBanza? It's this Rob Wright discussion. Why is Rob Wright seemingly one of the biggest topics of conversation in the transfer portal? And why are all the BYU haters like, oh, you're done without Rob Wright? Turns out they're not.
Bro, everyone was like, oh, the sky is falling now that Rob is in the transfer portal. Like, come on, dude.
Not.
Come on, man. Like,
turns out it's not.
If Bro was such a good player, they would have gone deeper in the tournament. The problem is he was a no-show against the better teams, and it was basically AJ and everybody else. And Rob was in the everybody else category, which inherently means that Kevin Young had to say, okay, go be everybody else somewhere else. And that's why I think that, listen, if you're a BYU fan and you want to talk basketball, there's only one conversation we're having this offseason. Don't care who it is. Don't care how they put it together. Don't care what it looks like. This roster has to be good enough to play physically and against teams with size. And it can't be a one guy and everybody else dynamic. You got to have 2-3 guys who can contribute at least 15 to 20 each night. Figure it out, dude. And if you don't have that, if you have 2 guys that are 20-point a night players and then you figure it out from the bench, I'm good with that. But we can't have, oh yeah, we're going to Okie Light to give them 100 type team again. If you do that again, Kevin Young might as well take his ass back to the NBA because it's just it ain't working.
And then you go and get Collin Chandler back from Kentucky. I mean, they're doing the right things.
Yeah.
They are doing the right things. And they're already shaping up to be a better team next year than they were this year.
Mm-hmm.
So to which I say good luck, because I think it's going to be very difficult. It is going to be very difficult to beat those, to keep BYU off TV.
Yeah.
Because they should be very good with Bear Bachmeier is going to be one of the best, or if not the best quarterback in the conference. It's going to be, I am anticipating.
Tim and Will Hammond. That's it.
Maybe. Are you a Will Hammond guy now?
No, I just think we saw what Will's capable of. I mean, I know it was against Utah, so I understand, but I think Will Hammond showed plenty of potential, without a doubt, in the opportunities he did get, both to run it and throw it, and I think that Tech is look, as childish as I think Texas Tech is in the PR game. I mean, the reality is they're still a good team. They're still a really good team. I mean, they should contend, and the question will be, if Tech is able to put the quarterback concerns behind them, I'm not saying they will, but if they were capable of that.
Oh, Brendan Sorsby puts your quarterback concerns behind you.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to compete. I don't think Will Ham is just going to play second fiddle to Brendan Sorsby, dude. I think it's going to be a competition.
Yes, he is. It's over. Brendan Sorsby's it's over.
Okay.
Noah Fafita. Who are the top quarterbacks in this league? Noah Fafita, Brendan Sorsby. I would probably put Bear Bachmeier or Noah Fafita. Noah Fafita, he's done it. Brendan Sorsby or Bear Bachmeier. Today, probably Brendan Sorsby because he's done it. But I would take Buddy at Houston, Connor Wegman. Yeah, I'm going to take Bear Bachmeier. DJ Lagway at Baylor, Bear Bachmeier. The real interesting guy is Devin Dampier at Utah. Dampier or Lagway? Probably
Dampier, but
Dampier or Wegman.
Again, look, the question, the Dampier question is not just about Dampier. That's the problem. I have trust issues with Utah. I need to see what it actually looks like on offense before I can really, because again, I don't. Dampier, again, I'll say the same thing about Dampier that I said about Will. Dude, Dampier's shown us what he can do, man. Mobile quarterback, can throw on the run, cause chaos, run RPO super effectively, can bomb it down the field. That's his ability is not in question. The scheme is what's in question. What you're going to do on offense is in question. And that's why I say, like, if we're just talking purely talent, yeah, Dampier is probably the most talented guy in the conference, honestly. But what has he got to work with? What are they asking him to do? That's the thing.
That's a big one. By the way, Mayer approves of BYU being the biggest brand.
Well,
boy, I think when I look at, I think it's Fafita 1 today on April 13th. Fafita 1, Sorsby 2, Bear Bachmeier 3. And then that's going to be a real fight. I think it's probably, Dampier or Avery Johnson?
I personally would take Dampier. Avery, we know who he is. And frankly, who he's not.
And then you got to wonder what Drew Mestamaker is. You're going from G6 to P4. That'll be interesting. I think I would take Wegman 4th. I think I'd take Dampier 5th. I think I would take probably Mestamaker 6th. Man, there's going to be some bloodbaths in this conference. I have no idea. Like Jalen Rayner at Iowa State, no idea. Cutter Boley at Arizona State, no idea. Julian Lewis at Colorado should be significantly better.
Dude, we don't have the video. Did you see that video of them coming out of the tunnel? How small they look.
Colorado,
they're getting for that.
Yes.
They look small. I mean, there's no way around that, dude. Like, that's first team all Kyler right there, bro. That's not a big team.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. No mention of Jaden Craig? No, because he's a bottom 5 quarterback.
What do you mean? No mention of Jaden Craig, dude.
You understand he played at Harvard.
Harvard.
He's done nothing. He's accomplished nothing. Go back to the poor Mormons who have no money.
Dude, I can't. What do you like? This comment right here assumes that there was something to mention about Buddy. Like, what? Dude. I can't believe this guy. Like, dude, you're. I'm not mad at you. I just am truly shocked that you commented this about Jaden Craig. Like,
what has he done to be mentioned amongst the best quarterbacks in the Big 12? What are you talking about? Like,
God, stop having the great rectory savant comment things about Jaden Craig that he didn't know nothing about. Like,
it's fine. Where do you rank? Where do you rank Alonzo Barrett, the third who transferred from? I rank him ahead of Jaden Craig.
That's out of the window.
I actually thought Barrett looked pretty good against Oregon. But again, when you jump, and this is the Mestamaker conversation, which I'm sure James is wetting himself over right now.
Yeah, he's on the list. Westamaker's on the list, dude. Mestamaker's on the list.
When you go from G6 to P4, you have to prove yourself. Exactly. Who's Jaden Craig? The quarterback at Harvard. Who's more acute in the pocket, Kyler Murray or Devin Dampier? Devin Dampier when he was beating the hell out of Utah? Yeah. Or out of BYU because he played pretty well.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't understand. Yeah, it is why you're fans. Like, the idea that Jaden Craig needs to be mentioned amongst the best quarterbacks in this league, like.
That's just an insane comment, bro. Like,
do you smoke meth out of a spoon? Like, somebody help me understand it. That is
penciling this thing?
That is insane. What has Jaden Craig done? He chose TCU over Oak State.
That was his first decent decision, dude.
It hurts, man. It hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And then there's Kenny Dillingham. Kenny's got to learn to get a poker face because I'm a Dillingham fan for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Buddy needs a poker face.
I mean, it wasn't a good day for our football. That was a bad football scrimmage. Too many penalties, explosive runs, missed tackles, not picking up pass pro. I mean, that wasn't a good day for Sunday football. Good effort, good intent, but our staff, we didn't prepare our guys good enough to come out here and have a good scrimmage today.
What could be improved upon that?
I mean, just too many mental MAs, too many penalties, especially in critical situations, too many missed tackles, right? Too many things that we've tried to correct that we haven't been able to correct. So it's just, when you have a day just sloppy all around, both sides of the ball sloppy, we gotta get a lot fixed.
He doesn't seem to be too happy. And I'm a huge Dillingham fan.
Yeah.
I just
thought it was good for the football soul that we're already getting Kenny roasting his team for being ass. Because that's the truth, right? He had one good year with Levitt and, and Cam and, they go on the run or whatever. And then the transfer portal happened. Sam's gone. Scat goes to the league. You're losing some players now, and so he's going through it now. But and that's really what will define him. But I am here for a good Kenny Dillingham. Hey, we were awful today. Our coaching staff didn't do a good enough job getting these guys ready. Instead of just saying your players suck, I'm here for that energy for sure.
Yeah, I think, we'll see. We'll see. This is all relative. Jaden Craig's going to win the Heisman Trophy.
Dude, you're never living that down, bro. You are literally never living that. Dude, I am going to look for ways to be like, yeah, I'm going to Jaden Craig this, dude.
Bro. Man, you better hope he doesn't Hoss Hengy that ass. I mean,
yeah, boy.
Furthermore, your record on quarterbacks sucks. It's not good. you know, it's not good.
Yeah.
Arizona State James loves lemon pepper wings. He does.
Arizona's Sun Devil James.
Sun Devil James over here. Guys. Hey, guys. Dampier played pretty well against BYU, even though they lost. But he played well. He did play very well. Yeah. So James also thinks Magic City lemon pepper wings are the best. So there's that. This is very true. Yeah. Who can forget the legend of Haas?
Right. Yeah.
Give the new OC at TCU a good mobile quarterback and watch them win. What about Sonny Dykes, the great quarterback mentor? Dude, go back to Oak State. You were far more interesting as an Oak State apologist.
Yeah, listening to you defend the mullet was truly peak form for you.
When you have no idea what TCU football's about. Like, you're so up in the night on TCU. Like, just...
Jaden Craig's going to win MVP of the league, Monty.
No mention of Jaden Craig? No. There's no mention of Jaden Craig.
Is that a real question?
I need to go back to bed. Cocaine Bear versus Dookie Stick Dampier in the Holy War. Could be.
Yeah, dude.
Blue Cheese James eats his wings with blue cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. You know, which is fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. All right. Can we talk about Diana Rossini? Because I think this is a big one. I think she's in real trouble at the New York Times and The Athletic. And I don't think they'll fire her. I think she will resign. Because the stories coming out about Diana Rossini, did you guys hear how they were outed? First of all, Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. I mean, listen, you and I both know this is not the greeting between a reporter and her source. That's not what this is. It's not. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. It could be this, but it's not that. You don't interlock your fingers. And I do think if it is true that they were outed by a private investigator.
Gotcha. Do you think it was a private investigator?
I do. I mean, like I don't know how you can. So here's the thing. Okay. That's 2 hours away. The Post story had detail from, it felt like sunrise to sunset, right? Breakfast.
Yeah.
By the pool. Sunset. Do you really think some guest at that hotel,
which is $2,500 a night,
who is there on a romantic, because I like everything you read about the hotel, who is there on a romantic getaway with their significant other, is going to sacrifice their entire day to taking iPhone pictures of them in different spots across the resort? Does that make any sense at all? And
Albert Breer on 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston. Somebody set them up. And if you've never been to Sedona, Sedona is the sex capital of Arizona.
It's majestic, to say the least.
If you can't break a piece off in Sedona, you just should. You're done. I mean, you can take your favorite garden variety Walmart manager, and it's going to happen there.
With all due respect.
Right? I mean, Sedona's amazing. It's not close to Phoenix. You don't go to Sedona to talk to a source. That was a romantic getaway. That's what it feels like to me. And I like Diana Rossini a lot.
As does everybody.
But it's starting to appear that she broke her ethical boundaries. And if this is in fact true, I do think she needs to be fired. She can't work in the NFL anymore. At least not for the New York Times.
No.
And the minute that she gets whacked, which is different, never mind. The minute that she gets whacked, she will have a stack of job offers in radio and television. She will. It's as simple as that. She's beautiful, voluptuous, and knows the NFL. And I am telling you, she can't work for the New York Times. And I think if it is in fact true that they were there, somebody forgot to tell them that they were seeds. If they were there.
Oh. How do you manage to work cockneck into this thing, dude? How do you do that, dude?
A better see you would have meant not you being seen.
Right. Of course.
My point is, this is a bad look. And I also think that the double standard, listen to Albert Breer talking about other women working around the NFL.
The lines get blurred in these sorts of situations sometimes, and it's hard because I think a lot of times a lot of like my female colleagues get questioned in ways when they're seen with these guys out.
No question.
In ways that I do not get questioned.
No, there's absolutely no question.
And I think that a lot of that is totally unfair.
It is.
And if this is what it looks like, then this is really bad for all the women who are doing it on the level, And like that's the part that Diana's done such a good job covering the league, but if that line was crossed, well, then she's screwing over a lot of other women. You know what I mean? It's going to make a lot of other women. It's going to make people make assumptions about a lot of other women who don't deserve to have those assumptions made about them.
Well,
it's exactly right. And that's why she can't work at the New York Times if this is true.
That's what I'm saying. Like these photos, man. And there are many others that came out over the weekend. There's one where they're at the bar, and like like I agree that the PI take is true. I think I agree with it 100%. But the problem is that it's not just that you allegedly, if this is true, broke the ethical barrier of sorts. The problem goes beyond that for me. At that point, if you've made the decision to set aside the ethical boundary of reporter to NFL head coach, and you've instead prioritized again, I just want to keep pointing this out, as a married woman, you've prioritized that relationship of sorts, whatever that looks like with Mike, that also has concern. And I just think that the fact that these photos exist, the fact that you were caught, hand in hand, the fact that it looks the way it does, and the fact that, the comment, it was just deny. I mean, we all know better, dude. The public is not stupid. And it makes it worse, in my opinion, that Mike didn't cop to it or didn't at least face the media to answer questions, dude. Not doing interviews and not talking to the media makes it worse. So what are we supposed to believe? What am I like? And you know what the real double standard is? Because I do agree with Bert, as everyone keeps referring to him as. I do agree with Albert Breer that there is a massive double standard. Like, obviously, female reporters deal with things that male reporters just simply don't. And that's an unfortunate dynamic in the industry. I think we all know that. But the reality is that you can't make bad decisions and get away with them forever, dude. You can't continue to do that. Do you understand how long a relationship would have to be fostered to get to this point? Do you guys get that? Like, this isn't just, like we met up once and now all of a sudden we're hand in hand at a luxury hotel in Sedona. That's not how this works, bro. And it's just unfortunate because I agree. We all like Diana Rossini. She does great work. Like, again, I referenced the first time we talked about this. Her spats that she absolutely owned Aaron Rodgers on were incredible.
Would you fire her?
No, I would leverage her into resigning. I would. Yes, I would. And I would tell her, hey, we don't want to disparage your name. We're not interested in that. We're not interested in it being this thing where there's a lot of vitriol or anything like that. But the fact is that you've put us in a tough position here, and something needs to be done about it. And as much as I don't want you to leave the company, like, you haven't really given us a choice. So we would ask that you resign. And I think that she should, but we'll see.
Yeah, she always talks smack about her hubby on all the shows she appears on. She does talk about him all the time.
Yep.
Rossini was going to Sedona to get a little piece of the mountain rock. Well, and it's having been to Sedona many times with my wife when we lived there, you don't just happen to be in Sedona.
Yeah.
It's deliberate. You have to want to go there because it's out of the way.
Yeah.
It is out of the way. Rossini's husband has the money, dude. He's a CEO of Shake Shack. Dude does not want to pay half. Well, I don't know that they're getting divorced either, but, you know.
It's not the best situation, and we all know that.
What if it was BDM taking the pictures on the download? Could have been. Could have been. You know. The hand-holding photo looks like they're about to say their nuptials. Dude, it's brutal.
Yeah.
These are, I'm not going to say they're, what's the right way to say it? I'm not going to say they're lovers in the night, and now, of course, I can't show those photos because my photo tray is locked up again.
Yeah, they're in a moment where, you know, they clearly thought they were alone, and they were, you know, they were doing what they were doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been mispronouncing Sedona. Apparently it's Sabona.
Oh.
My bad. Sabona.
Okay.
Which is Latin for Pound Town.
Exactly. Yes.
You know,
yes, that's correct.
You know, we are all human for sure, but some people think the rules don't apply to them. Well, I mean, you're married. Shouldn't there be better rules than no rules? Right? I mean, I could be wrong.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
I could be wrong. But
yeah, I think that there's two ways to handle these situations, man. And they chose a path, which was, hey, we're going to deny this. We're both going to deny it. We're just going to say it didn't happen. The media spun it, the pictures. And you saw there was an effort, right? I mean, you guys all saw the photos that came out of their friends sitting around them in the pool. And, you know, they tried to spin it like, oh, yeah, like, doesn't matter that I was in a bikini and, you know, he was in his swim trunks. We had all our friends around, as if that makes it any better. Like, that's what I don't think that, like, people understand. You can't sell me the narrative that, oh, well, we were just around our friends. This isn't a romantic relationship. You know what the problem with that is, Diana? And this is what no one wants to say. The problem is that you've already broken the ethical standard by being in that situation. You are a reporter and cover the NFL for a living. You are paid by the New York Times and The Athletic to cover the NFL. You in a bikini in a pool with an NFL head coach is a total no-no. That is completely, absolutely under, I don't care who you work for in the industry. You don't do that.
Yeah.
So the problem is that dudes like Albert Breer and guys who cover the league professionally and have these kind of relationships and foster relationships where they can get sourced information and they protect those relationships. Just the same way there's a double standard for females. The problem is that Albert's right. If it's proven, if they were to ever admit to this, or like if there was a way that we had a tangible way to say, yep, it's fact that they were in a relationship, she needs to be fired. She I agree, will have jobs, but we'll never look at her the same. And all the allegations about her and her husband and, you know, all the things she said, all that becomes true at that point because of what you did here. And I don't think she thought about that.
So you would fire her?
If it came out as fact right now today, I would force her to resign. If it came out as fact publicly that they were in a relationship, you have no choice but to fire her. You have to. because now her integrity is in question, which therefore means the New York Times and the Athletics integrity is in question on the NFL because you're employing her.
A little bit more from Albert Breer.
Of course it raises questions. And like, here's why I'm uncomfortable about this part of it, because you guys have poked fun at some of my relationships, right? Like somebody very easily could go and take a picture of me at the bar with a coach, with a general manager, with whoever it is, in a million different circumstances over the course of the last 20 years. And, I won't, nobody's going to make any sort of assumption about me the way they will about a woman sitting at a bar with the same coach.
It's true. That's facts.
It's exactly right. It's why guys who have a prolific history of smashing are studs, and girls who have the same prolific history of smashing are hoes.
It's a societal double standard. And I agree completely 100% that it's wrong. I don't think it's proper or correct to just say, oh, homegirl is sitting at the bar with whoever the person is that works in the league. That means that they're involved. That's incorrect, dude. You shouldn't be doing that to women. That's a problem. That's wrong. The problem is that Diana, over the years, her fault or not, I don't know, has built a reputation on some level with the public. I'm not saying the NFL, but just with public, Twitter, X guy, whatever, of, hey, her and her husband aren't on the same page. Like, a lot of people think they're married, but they're the furthest thing from married in terms of their actual relationship. Like, she's built this thing where it's like, oh, dude, like, she's willing to step out. And all of that was rumor and hoopla, and nobody actually thought it was true until this happened. And that's the hard part. Is like, it's like the old Harvey Dent, saying, right? You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. And I feel like she was the gold standard for female reporting, 100%. She was outstanding. And now I feel like that's in question, which is really unfortunate.
Will it ever be again?
I mean, I don't think that this will be forgotten until there's closure on it in some form or fashion. And eventually, and this is what Mike doesn't want to face, which I'm really surprised by for a guy his stature and his ability with the media. Eventually, you're going to answer questions. You are going to either answer the question or
but now is not the time to answer the question.
Well, when is the time?
Not
Training
now.
camp?
Not now. Yeah.
After the draft?
Summer. Not now. Not now.
Yeah.
You just can't. I think he did the exact right thing. You can't. You're a distraction at that point. Right? I think we all would agree that he would be a distraction.
My only ask of Mike, I agree, whether he wants to be or not, it is. Like, it is. It's a distraction in the building. Everyone's talking about it. It's definitely a narrative. It's not what you want the week before the draft.
Yes.
I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it would dominate draft conversations on ESPN during the draft. I don't think that. But I think that if you allow that, like, he needs to put this thing to bed well before camp gets here. Well before camp. Like, I would say, like, June, July, this thing needs to be done and over with, one way or the other. You can't be getting to August and into training camp.
Yeah, I just don't think that's up to him.
Well, who's it up to?
It's up to the media and the narrative. He'll never live this down now. Whether they ever had sex or not, Mike Vrabel and Diane Rossini will never live this down. It's over. Yeah. It's just how, and especially in a male-dominated industry like football, you're never going to live this down.
Yeah.
You're just not. So, and right now is not the time, in my opinion. You think he should have met with the media?
I do, because I think avoiding the media and refusing to do the media just doubles down on what everyone thinks of you. It just makes it incredibly worse.
But doesn't him talking about this just keep the conversation going?
I think it gives you the opportunity to change the conversation. You got to come up with something that you can say to the media that will that will help the situation on some level. Like that's
what is he? He would have to deny it then, and I don't think they're in a position to deny it.
But NFL franchises,
dude,
NFL franchises are more than capable of hiring the suits to come up with a statement that he can read that will protect him, and also not have it just be, I did not have sex with that woman. Right.
I did not have sex with that woman.
Yeah. Like, we need to do a little bit better.
Is that what sex is? Oh, well, in that case, I mean, we smashed all over Sabona. I mean, you know.
Come on, dude. Like the bed, the bathroom, like we all know what it is, dude. We get it. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing?
I'm going to say this again. I want you to listen to me.
Like, come on.
It's wild. But isn't this the Ruben Bain story we talked about earlier?
No. This has legs.
This is, apparently the Ruben Bain story has legs because he's going to fall in the trap because of it. This is dragging people because dragging people is fun.
No. These are two different things, dude. Ruben Bain happened 2 years ago. That situation's case closed. Family said it's done. That is hater report, haterade drinker trying to bring Ruben down. This is, you guys went to a hotel 2 hours out of the way for me. Meetings.
A hoe.
Dude, like, why don't we just get Maury Povich called out and we'll see what it really is.
And are we skipping the lead here? 2,500 a night. What are you getting in a hotel room? I just need clean sheets and a box
bro is getting in the
we know what he's
room,
getting, Monty. Monty.
Let me tell you what Mike Vrabel was getting for $2,500.
We know what that looks like.
The pictures of Diana Rossini. Are you out? You got $2,500. That's
we're going
a discount.
back to the freaking moon.
Yeah,
that's why.
We're going to the fucking moon, buddy.
Like, come on.
I tell you what he was getting for 2,500, boy.
Come on, bro.
It's Pound Town. We get it. Yeah, the HOA in Pound Town's pretty expensive.
Come on, dude.
Good Lord. Where's the blue dress, Diana? Exactly. Exactly
Your third
right.
leg was just phenomenal.
Mike Vrabel, quote, it depends on what your definition of is. You know. 2,500 isn't the most. A few are way more, like 5 to 10K. Dude, Diana Rossini ain't cutting.
Well,
5 to
maybe
10K.
they should have got on the 10K plan because 2,500 still allowed the alleged ghost of the private investigator to show up at the bar, dude.
How, like, that's the part that's fascinating to me. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking about Sabona with Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. Who was watching them? Are you telling me that a private investigator, maybe he was there on somebody else and he just realized Big Nose Kate and Fathead are famous? Right? No. Somebody, maybe your Diana's getting a divorced idea or opinion is right.
I mean, there's an angle that's not publicly known. That much is very clear. Dude was not there by accident. Albert Breer making a great point saying that, hey, like they had every detail from sun up to sundown. It's a great point, dude. A casual is not going to sit there all day long at the bar doing nothing. You're getting paid to find them and watch them and uncover it.
If I'm paying $2,500 for my hotel, how is a private, investigator getting access to a roof?
Bro, dude, this is not difficult. Delaric, come on, bro. Don't tell me you actually think that these two have security or that hotel security certainly would stop the private investigator from getting in. Dude, this is how it's done, in my opinion. Oh, you're a private investigator? You're not going to book the reservation under Jimmy the private investigator. You're booking it under some law firm or like some big wig corporate account that nobody's going to ask 2 questions about.
Yeah.
And then you're going to roll into the hotel. You're going to look totally normal. You're going to get your little drink at the bar. And then you're going to pull out the old iPhone and you're going to get to work on that thing. And that's what, because that's the thing that stands out about all these pictures. What do you guys notice about all these pictures, dude? None of this is professional camera work.
No.
This is all cell phone right here, bro.
No, I don't
all
think
of it.
so. I don't think so. You think that's cell phone?
Yes.
I think it's telephoto from the roof shot top pictures. That's a cell phone picture right there. The other one, I think that's from very far away.
It's far away. I think it's zoomed in on a camera. I just think it's either way. Either way, the reason I say it's a camera is because of how like kind of grainy the photo is. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not either way. My point is that you're from a distance. You knew where they would be. I don't know what this is, like a rooftop of some kind that they're on, and you still knew where that spot was. So you know the hotel so well. You clearly have access on some level. You have enough access to understand, hey, this is their meeting spot. They're going to be here and there. Like you've watched them for quite some time do this.
Yeah.
So that's why I agree with the private investigator take. But I do think the question of who commissioned the private investigator is a really good one. And no, it's not Ryan Day's brother, dude. So I don't know. You know, that question needs to be answered at some point. I hope we get clarity on that.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting to me that a private investigator was following. I think it's probably isn't it always you're trying to get evidence of infidelity?
I mean, that's the most obvious thing, but I do tend to agree with Brandon that if they were going to get divorced, they would have already been divorced after her alleged activity, and that bro probably is not looking to pay half. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I tend to think.
So then it comes into question, okay, well, what? Oh. So if it's not the divorce thing,
getting divorced, I really hope they're not getting divorced.
Well, listen, if it's not them, if we're looking for other scenarios, the only other thing I could think of is just somebody, whether it's her employer or otherwise, was suspicious of what she was doing and wanted to look into it. Like,
you think it could have been her employer?
I do. Oh yeah, I do. I think reputationally, again, this is not new, dude. This is decades old at this point. Her reputation for getting involved with people, again, all alleged, all untrue up to this point, but still a reputation attached to her. I think that's a possibility. I don't think we should just cross that out. I mean, again, it's the New York Times and the Athletic, man. This is not Jimmy Bob's newspaper. You know what I mean? Like this is big wig reporting type material. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's not true. I really hope that's not true. If your job is following you around, I mean, yeah, it was Diana's husband paid for the PI. How do you know that? How do you know? Magnum
Craig
PI.
Tell you that?
Stop. Magnum PI. You're never getting away from that's seventh best team in Texas.
Yeah, you're not getting.
You're never getting away from
dude.
that.
It ain't happening.
I can understand PI getting it, but getting it.
Well, the PI didn't get anything. That
some
was
of those shots are not cell phone. It's a decent camera. I would agree.
Yeah.
It's got to be her husband hired the investigator for a shakedown on the divorce settlement.
See, that's a Shake Shack reference and a shakedown, and it all kind of works together.
Diana Rossini's husband works for Shake Shack.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Right. It all kind of works together. I see what you did there. Yeah, I get it.
And stuff. This is fascinating to me. It's fascinating to me. Not as fascinating as Rory McIlroy winning back-to-back at the Masters. The Masters. And my pictures are still locked up, Jake. So, so were you rooting for Rory? You hate Rory McIlroy all of a sudden, Jake.
That's not
you
true.
were not rooting for him.
I don't hate him.
I just don't like him.
Well, yeah, I don't. I like Scotty more than I like Rory, for sure.
Who were you rooting for?
I found myself rooting for Cam Young and Justin Rose. I felt like, that Cam Young's run lately, especially after what he did at the Players, I really would have liked to have seen him win the Masters. But
do you think that he cheated? Cam Young. Have you heard this story?
I have, yeah. I have.
Where Cam Young was under a tree, hit a drive. He was under a tree.
Mhm.
And you are not allowed to have your caddy stand behind you and help you line up a shot. In the bunker, on the fairway, under a tree,
Putting.
certainly a putt on the green.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have your caddy behind you. Cam Young set up for a shot underneath a tree. And his caddy slid in behind him to take one last look. And Cameron Young never reset his stance. And people are saying it should have been a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should have been a penalty.
Yeah, I think that the rule book says it should have been a penalty. The rule is the rule. I don't dispute that. Not argue.
I would agree. The rule is the rule.
I think that what the lack of understanding here that I think that nobody ever likes. This is the umpires in baseball thing. This is the human element portion. What nobody wants to talk about here, and this to me is very unique to golf. I don't think people understand that he wasn't standing under a massive pine tree, like unobstructed. The guy is basically bent all the way over, standing under what amounts to a shrub of a tree, essentially. A thin tree that is way off in the rough that his ball just happened to find. It is in the well of the tree. It is a swing where he can only bring the club up to maybe mid-thigh at most without hitting the tree. And you're talking about him hitting it into a window maybe 20 feet wide, maybe, between two massive trees down the side of the fairway.
Yeah.
So people saying that, hey, he should have been penalized for his caddy lining him up. Sure. Was the caddy in the wrong place when he swung? Yes. Cam Young was there was only one place you were hitting the shot, dude. It's not like there were 800 options and his caddy was like, wow, you need to be an inch to the right or an inch to the left.
Yeah.
Like, I just think this is what people do in golf. What they want is they want every single rule just to be nailed down on these guys for every single little thing. And I'm just telling you, that's not how humans work out on the golf course. The rules official is there. He's giving Cam his options. Then I believe he left. Then they went through the shot. Like, it's not that, to me, in that particular situation, it just wasn't that big a deal.
As egregious.
Yeah. And it certainly didn't define the tournament. It didn't decide who won. It had almost no impact on that. His tee shot had more of an impact than that second shot, in my opinion. So, so I was rooting for Cam. I really wanted Justin Rose to win as well.
Rory.
Yeah. So then the conversation about Rory, I think is really, really comes full circle when you start to look at the list of accomplishments, dude. So this guy,
it's incredible. Bro.
I mean, this guy has basically everything that you could want in golf at this point. And now he's one of only 4 individuals to ever repeat at the Masters. So I think that Rory, without a doubt, even to the most passionate Rory hater, is the best golfer of his generation.
6 Ryder Cups.
Yeah, like I agreed with the take. He was the best golfer of his generation before this weekend. We agreed on that. As people get burned out on Rory's arrogance, I think he's earned that arrogance, with all due respect. So to me,
I was trying to explain Rory's arrogance to Mrs. Monty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to put into words because I love Rory. I'd hit that, right? I'd smash. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge Rory McIlroy fan. But there's something about Rory that's like, yeah, I don't want to. Okay, stop it. I don't want to. That one hurts. I don't want to go have a beer with Rory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that I want to play a round of golf with Rory.
Yeah.
I love watching him play. And he is my favorite golfer. There's a bunch of, I love golf. I am a golf fanatic. I watch it. I feel really bad. I've destroyed my wife's life because now she actually we were going to play 18 holes yesterday. We only played 9 so we could get home and watch the second half of the final round. She's actually into it. we played, it was super wet yesterday. Not super wet, but wet enough. We played best ball. My wife actually got 2 drives. Dude, I hit the ball a mile yesterday. Different story. My point is, there's just something about Rory that reeks of that's not the guy you want to hang out with.
Yeah, I joked last week and going into this week, like, this place feels like my home course. I haven't played anywhere else in the last 2 or 3 weeks, really. So I felt prepared in that way. I felt prepared that, wherever I hit it on the golf course, I sort of know what to do. I know where to miss. I'm pretty comfortable with all the shots around the greens. And yeah, I think it is. It's a good blueprint. I said this earlier in the week, I'm not going to take 3 weeks off before every major, but to get to the major venues early, do your preparation, play, and not just play and look at things, and actually play. Go out there with one ball, shoot a score, try to do it that way.
So there is also controversy in that. Rory McIlroy can go to Augusta and play golf anytime he wants. And it depends on who you believe. But they gave him a 5-hour block to be alone on the course. Once a week for 3 weeks leading up to the tournament. And he went and played it 4 or 5 times. This is how much Rory's a billionaire. I don't know if people realize that. He is probably the most revenue generating golfer in the history of the game, even Tiger. He gets on a private jet in Florida, drops his daughter off at school, gets on a private jet, flies to Augusta, plays Augusta, gets back on the jet and has dinner with his daughter.
Yeah.
But what he's doing is he's flying up to Augusta and he's playing a practice round where he hits different shot shapes into the same green based on where the flag placements will be. Because everybody knows where the flag placements are going to be on round 1, 2, 3, and 4. So he's practiced that shot from multiple different angles and multiple different places based on where his driver miss is, which this week was right. So when he missed right in the trees on, what was that, 15, and he laid up short, he put the ball in the perfect position because he's missed there in his practice rounds. But here's the thing. It's not an unfair advantage. You know why? Because he won the Masters last year. He's earned the right to do that. He doesn't have to play. Like, one of the big problems for a lot of professionals is they have to play the tournaments leading up to the Masters to qualify to play in the Masters.
Yes.
Rory does not have to do that. He has a lifetime exemption.
And for those of you who don't know, the top 12 and ties are automatically in next year's Masters.
Yes.
So even if you're not contending to win the Masters, it's huge to be top 12 or tied for 12 because you're already in, so you can then take time before to prepare to give yourself a better chance.
He doesn't have to, and he's not struggling for the FedEx Cup. He's not.
Yeah.
He's one of the best golfers in the world. He has the luxury to say, I want to win the Masters. So for the next month, my life is about winning the Masters.
Yep.
And he went out. He dominated the Masters this year. Dominated. Now, Saturday was not a good day for Rory. Not a good day for Rory. I thought down the stretch yesterday, he was never in jeopardy. Once he got the lead back and he started when he was making putts, and you could just see he was a different player this year than he was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Dominated the Masters.
Yeah, the Masters was Rory. Basically, everyone was talking about Rory, and then we were trying to figure out who was going to come for him on Sunday, who was going to chase him down, who was going to push him and make it difficult. And to his credit, it's not like he led wire to wire. It's not like he was in the lead the whole time. Yesterday. He trailed yesterday, and I just think that
Justin Rose fell apart. Cam Young fell apart.
Scotty was not good enough on Saturday to run him down on Sunday.
And Scotty was not good enough consistently down the stretch.
Yeah.
But what do you want to bet that Scotty will take this plan with Rory? And here's the other issue. Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy are not good friends. Because Rory doesn't really have close friends that are on his level. Shane Lowry's a lovely individual and a good golfer.
Hell of a Masters, too. Hole in one. Like, he had a great weekend.
But he's way below Rory. Right? So the difference is Shane has to qualify for the Masters. Rory does not. Scotty doesn't have to qualify. He's won it. So now his focus has to be winning multiple jackets and back-to-back jackets, because now Rory's a better golfer than Scotty is. Rory's the best golfer in the world right now today on April 13th. He's got 2 big wins this year, right? Like his resume is, he's got a better resume than Scotty's got.
This year he does. Yeah, certainly. I mean,
yeah,
obviously
I think in totality.
Longer. Well, yeah, he's been playing longer too, though. You know, I mean, I think that there's...
Right, sure. But all that means is Scotty's been on tour for 10 years. Scotty's chasing now. And remember Full Swing several years ago? What did Rory say? Brooks Koepka's now got 5 majors. Rory's passed him now. Although Brooks had a really good showing.
He did. Yeah, he did.
So...
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see. Like, I think a lot of the questions, Rory's resume is not in question. Even before this weekend, I don't think it was in question. But the ability to win back-to-back definitely takes him to another level. I completely agree with that. Again, the group of guys, Tiger, Jack, the other guy I can't remember off the top of my head. But those guys, him joining that group is really super exclusive, and I think that Scotty will get that done at some point. It's going to take time. Obviously, it's a several-year endeavor. I think that Rory is in a... I don't know how else other to say it than winning the Masters last year. Really, I feel like catapulted him into this new chapter in his career that I think has, frankly, breathed life into him again. I think that he's relaxed. He's able to play the game again. Like, I think that the guy is in a place where he's like, all right, I don't have pressure. I've won what I needed to win. Now it's just about going out and trying to win as many as I can. Like, I don't have to win them, right? Like, if I never won another tournament, I would still be the best golfer of my generation. But now at this point, we're basically chasing legacy and how I'll be remembered in this game 25 years from now. And I think that that's a very different place mentally to be in. I still find myself, looking at Scotty and saying that Scotty's troubles right now are not talent. They're mechanical off the tee. When his tee shot is right, he's the best golfer in the world. And I don't even think Rory can have anything to say to that on any given Sunday. But Scotty hasn't been right this year. That's just the truth of it. And TaylorMade, dude, TaylorMade's got a real problem, bro.
Their current driver is
not good. And everybody's gone back to last year's. Everyone went back to last year's driver, and all of a sudden, I think the stat is the last 5 major tournament winners have all at least had the TaylorMade QI. It's not the QI10; it's their 3-wood model from last year in their bag. So it's not in question that these dudes are all rocking TaylorMade, and so it just is. Yeah,
I'm not saying Rory's a bad guy. Rory's not the guy you want to go hang out with. I want to play golf with Scotty. I want to play golf with Minwoo Lee. I want to play golf with Justin Rose. Justin Rose on Grant Horvat's channel last week, spectacular.
Yeah, Justin Thomas, Justin Rose,
Justin
Gary
Thomas.
Woodland.
I want to play golf with Gary Woodland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those guys are all dudes that you want to, that you want to have a good time with. And
again,
and that's
And when we followed Seamus Power 2 years ago, we were at TPC Summerlin in Vegas, and Seamus Power was in the group ahead of us. You just watch those guys swing a golf club; it's different.
Yep.
And you want to play with them. Rory.
It's just a different level. I think that the big difference for Rory, and it's just a personality thing. It doesn't make him a bad guy, but
he's not a bad guy.
The difference is that Scotty, I truly believe, and this is many tour players have said this about Scotty. This is not my take, but I really do believe that the guy does not care about the spotlight. I really don't think he gives a damn. I think that what he wants is he wants to go out every week and be in contention on Sunday. I think that bro lives for hey, you've got 12 holes left on your weekend and you're down by 2, go and win the tournament. I literally think he lives for that situation. And the cool thing is that the guy, Scotty's talked about it. He literally said that he loves going out and playing golf with his buddies because they can be competitive with each other. Like, he's the tour pro, so he's going to be playing it just straight up, just 4 shots as par, 3 is birdie. But then his buddies he'll give his buddies 2-3 shots, and all of a sudden you're making pressure putts, and like it's this whole deal. That's why I like Scotty, dude.
I love, and the idea, and this is why I'm so addicted to golf. Playing golf, like yesterday is a great example. I actually hit the ball very well yesterday. But you're playing from the tips, and again, buddies trying to hit with you. And because it's fun. And it doesn't matter who you're playing with. It matters how they're playing and how you're playing. And I love the mental part of it. I hate live golf. I'm officially off the live golf bandwagon. What happened with Sergio Garcia yesterday, I think is incredibly embarrassing. Like, this is, and I do hope that they give him a 1 year suspension. I don't think they will. But you look at what he does here. And I need to get that banner off the screen so you can see it. Look at the hole he left in the ground, and then he snaps his driver on a water cooler. That is so Bush League to do that. Look at the damage he does to the tee box here. Look at that. And then snap goes the driver. And Live Golf had a terrible Masters. Outside of Tyrrell Hatton, they had a terrible Masters. And I think it's very interesting. Like, that, what is your excuse now? Right? Like, when you listen to these guys, I think you just don't play enough competitive golf. And you listen to John Rahm, he's trying to find an excuse.
Definitely some things I'm going to change going forward, preparation-wise and what to do. But it's hard to say how much to learn because I don't think we've ever seen a Masters this firm, and I don't know how long it's going to be till we see one this firm again, both off the tee and on the greens. I mean, have you ever seen, looking down the actual property, how yellow the patron areas are and how brown and purple a lot of the parts of the fairways and the greens are, right? So, again, it will be a long time till we see it like this, but definitely have some things in mind for future editions where he gets to this level.
Funny, it didn't hurt Scotty or Rory. The problem for Live Golf is you're not competitive. You're not playing in big moments. You're not playing in big tournaments. You're just playing golf with your buddies, wearing shorts and drinking beers. And
yeah, no cuts, wearing shorts, already got your money. Like, there's no motivation.
So you show up at a place like Augusta where you don't get 3 weeks to prepare. And you see guys like Brooks Koepka and Patrick Reed, no longer with Live Golf, but where are they on the leaderboard? Because what is Patrick Reed, who's a shitbag?
Yeah.
But what did Patrick Reed do? He went and played golf around the world on the DP Tour, on the DP World Tour, where there's competition, and he's winning those tournaments. And he's competing and he's getting ready. So he's competing at the top of the leaderboard. What are you doing at Live Golf? You're not competing at a high level. And John Rahm specifically doesn't want to have to go back and play the DP World Tour, pay the fines for pulling out of tournaments to go play on the Live Tour. Brooks Koepka came back to the PGA Tour, paid his fine, made the charitable donation. Now he can't putt to save his life.
Yeah.
And Brooks is a guy I want to play around a golf with.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to play golf with Brooks Koepka. Right? But he's a guy that you see him rising again. And it can happen. Jon Rahm's one of the most talented golfers in the world. But if you play golf, you understand what it's like to be nervous over a tee shot. You don't get that at LIV. You do not get that at LIV.
Hey, Bryson, your thoughts. Your thoughts. Hey, by the way, Bryson, the science experiment known as 3D printing your own irons, how'd that work out for you this week, dude?
Because he doesn't have a club deal. Good point. Water cooler's undefeated.
Yeah, dude. And then Sergio, the media asked Sergio, like, hey, bro, like, how much harder was the round because you didn't have a driver? And dude is like, oh, it's way easier. I don't even have to think about it. I'm just hitting 3-wood off every tee. So it's way easier. Yeah. Okay, Serge. It's way easier. Sure, dude. All right. I probably would be saying the same thing if I had disgraced myself on a tee box.
Disgraced.
Like being completely unprofessional and embarrassing during the Masters. So,
Yeah.
I just think that the game, I'll be honest, man, I wasn't sure that the game of golf would recover from the Tiger Phil era. I wasn't sure. I wasn't like, we were waiting for Rory for so many years to break through at the Masters. We were, Scotty at that point was not a thing. Scotty Scheffler was not known to the world at that point. And we were just sitting here waiting for Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas and these guys to kind of break through. And then Scotty happened. And then Scotty happening, I feel like forced Rory to, basically recommit to his game and double down on being an all-time great again.
And look at Morikawa. Morikawa with a back injury, I think finished 8th.
Huge credit to Morikawa. You're talking about a guy who basically couldn't swing a club 3 weeks ago and rested, recovered, did everything he could do. And there was a video of him late in his round. I think it was on 16 or 17, where he's literally using his putter as a cane to walk around the green. Like he could barely walk and still finish top 10. Like I don't.
The Masters.
Yeah, man. It's one of those tournaments. So I wouldn't expect to see Collin for a couple of weeks at least, man. I think, time off is what he needs. But I don't know. My point is, I think the game is in a great place. I think that, yeah, sure, is Rory arrogant? Sure. But I'm here for the Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy rivalry. There's no question about it.
Marcus is on me. He's like, hey, you were probably that guy who thinks he should play from the tips because he can play on tour. No, I don't think I can play on tour. What happened was yesterday with Mrs. Monty and I went and played with two people. You just play with strangers when there's two of you. And we asked the guy, do you play from the blues or the whites? He's like, oh, I play from the blues. He shouldn't have played from the blues. But I can hit the ball a mile. It just depends on if I can control it. I do not think that I can play on the tour. No. I uploaded the video on the channel. So.
Yeah, under no circumstance, I don't care who I'm playing with, won't play the tips. I just think I think, yeah, you can hit it a mile, but I think that Buddy who wants to play the tips and thinks he's that much better, I always laugh at those guys because inevitably they only wind up driving at like 280, 290, and they've got like, 340 left to the flag or whatever. Like they've got, like, even on a shorter par 4, you've still got, 170, 180.
Yeah.
And most people are not good enough iron players to manage that shot with an iron. So I just think that's I'm telling you, I've graduated to a place where I'm trying to enjoy the game, man. Play one forward from the tips. Don't care if I got to wait for you guys to do it. And if you guys want to play from the tips, cool. Knock yourself out, dude. I'll see you down there, man.
9 out of 10 rounds, I will not do that. Like my favorite course here in Bellevue is short. It's 6,000, 7,000 yards or something stupid like that. But,
yeah.
Hitting dude, I hope that I can bring that driver. I hope I can bring the tee box that I had yesterday to Vegas this weekend. Because, man, there's no better feeling. I still think hitting a beautiful iron shot is one of the best feelings in golf. But dude, you hit a ball. And I'm not exaggerating. I hit a driver shot yesterday just short of 340 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And watching that ball, and the best part is everybody around you Like people on the green next to us and the people we were playing with, everybody was like, whoa, like there's no better feeling than that. The problem is it's so rare for me right now.
Yeah.
It's once out of, hopefully this is the end of me dicking with my swing, and I can get back to being the 7 handicap that I know I can play at. But I'm telling you, there's no better feeling than, and my swing is super ugly and the ball is just, you probably don't remember. There's a hole that at Bellevue where you can cut the corner. And it's like a 300 and...
Yeah, dog leg, right?
Yeah, there's like I want to say it's like a 350, 60 yard tee shot to clear the corner.
Little shed down the right side.
Yes, exactly right. I had 80 yards into the green.
Yeah.
It was incredible, dude. Incredible. Just, there's nothing like it. Is Monty that guy who shows up to the range with a track finder? I don't know what that means. What do you mean? You'd have to explain that. 9 handicap or better from the tips.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not capability. Jake is well, we're both capable of hitting the ball. We both are 300, minimum 300 off the tee when it's right. The issue is there's no reason to do it.
Yeah,
there's just no reason to do it.
Yeah, I maintain that the whole playing from the tips thing, bro. I last weekend, not this past one, but the weekend before, I played with 2 guys at my local course who so there was 4 of us. I was the single, and there was a group of 3 I was playing with. 2 of the guys were playing from the tips, and this other older gentleman was playing with me, 1 ahead of the tips. And a lot of the tee boxes on this particular course are split tee boxes. There's a lot of raised ones, lower ones, and so the one forward typically is like the lower tee box, and the tips are higher. And I just was thinking to myself, like, dude, even if I was like a 5 or like a 4, I probably would still play from 1 ahead of the tips, because I'm out there to play good golf, not say that I can hit it, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just is. It's never been a thing. I would so much rather just hit it in the fairway and play my irons. That's my game, man. And if I'm in the fairway, gonna have a tough time shooting more than 85. If I'm playing from the rough all day, I'm probably pushing low 90s. But if I'm in the fairway, it's gonna be fine, dude. And that's all that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm obsessive over golf. I truly am. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Don't forget, off on Friday as we jet to holiday to Vegas this weekend. Looking forward to that. Playing a couple of spicy rounds. 2 really good dinner reservations this weekend I'm excited about. I get my 5 wood today.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. Anyway, as you were. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.